Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, pacemaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, box flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. Peacemaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checkered flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, box flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. Peacemaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. Peacemakers mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, box flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. 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 Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, pacemaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, box flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. Peacemaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checkered flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, box flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. Peacemaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. Peacemakers mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, box flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rumble here this evening from the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our third race of the in-season tournament with the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League, as each and every one of these drivers looking to have themselves a great day, a special day here as we get a full-length Indy 400 here, NASCAR style at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 160 laps of racing action, so make sure you got your drinks, your popcorn, and hopefully you guys are ready for what will be a very, very exciting, very fun day of racing action from Indianapolis, man. This is going to be a good afternoon and a great night for racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, as each and every driver hoping to try to cash in and park themselves into the Indy victory lane here this evening, wanting to kiss those bricks and celebrate a big dub here in our third in-season championship, the in-season tournament here for all these drivers and everyone trying to advance their way into the next round of the in-season championship. As Uncle Rodney in the chat, what's good, Rod? Rod coming in, showing the love, says, first like, baby, it's wheel to wheel, let's go, Rodney, let's get it, my man, let's get it, you know it, and I appreciate that coming in, got those notifications turned on, knew what was happening, knew what was going on, and jumped in here right at the get-go. Made sure to hit that like and made sure to get us started off here on the right foot this evening. We appreciate that, Rodney, coming in, showing the love here in this one, as we are going to get these drivers ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here this evening. For some drivers looking for maybe a little bit more redemption, hoping to have a little bit better luck than what they have in the last couple weeks, and obviously for others just looking to have some good fun, a good night of racing here, and some great action out there on the speedways. Andrea Sue in the chat says, let's go, Jordan, cheering on that 39 ride of Jordan Fisher, as Fisher will lead us to the green flag here this evening. Jordan Fisher out in front will take us to the green flag here today. To his outside in the Fish Speed number 5 ride, that is Xavier Rungelbrugge, who will start there in position number 2. Starting back in third, as it's Fish Speed breaks 1, 2, and 3 to start this race, it is Kobe Wells who will start there in third. To his outside in the Robin Hood number 67, Jack Buelty there in that 4th position. Starting back in 5th is the beautiful GOAT diecast number 34, that is Aiden Lucas. To his outside in the M&M's number 11 ride, it's Jaden Browder there in that 6th position. Starting back in 7th in the 31 ride, that is the Rush Hour karting machine of Joseph Smith. To his outside in the Black Honey Barbershop, that is the 23 of Austin Thompson, who will start there in 8th. Starting back in the 9th position in the number 09, it's Logan Hamilton, again racing for Jace LaFord out there on the racetrack, as Logan Hamilton will start in 9th in the 09 ride. To his outside will be the 77 of Caleb Holloman. Holloman will start in position number 10. Starting back in 11th, the Monster Energy Machine, that is the 35 ride of Cooper Goodwin. To his outside will be the number 15 of Stephen Blevins. And then we do see, I believe it's the Lucas number 8 ride of Trent Johns. To his outside will be the 99, the UPS machine of Mr. Logan Perriman. And then we do see, I believe it is going to be the 51 of Mickelson, who will start there in, I believe that is the 15th position. To his outside will be the 66 ride, that is Ben Knight. And then we do see, Neats, I think it's Neats, there in position number 16. Jason Bogart back there, as well as that 13 ride of Michael Ponder Jr., Jaden Porter. Grant Applegate there in 20th with Evan Stewart, Lucian Thompson. Chas Hamby in that beautiful MD Turner Enterprises number 10 ride. Gary Rose in the 22. Starting back there deeper in the field, we'll have Mike Corvo there to his outside in the beautiful Marlboro number 97. We do see Landon Burbage deep in the field. Ryan Haller's back there as well, starting in 27th. And it looks like Terrence Murphy going to have to start from pit road here this evening. Unfortunately, missing the starting grid here this evening for that 24 ride. Will now have to start at the back of the pack. As Fish Bomb says, fear the fish. As Levi Stewart says, let's go, Evan. And Fish Speed cheering on all the Fish Speed rides here this evening. Fish Bomb cheering on Jordan out there on the racetrack. Hopefully, a little bit better of a fence to start this race than what we saw last Sunday night. Obviously hoping that things are a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier and breezier as we head to, a new race. Hopefully everyone's put last race in the rearview mirror and moved on and into what will be an exciting Indy 400 here this evening. 400 miles of racing action from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As Brian Alessandro says, let's go, Landon. Nice and smooth, one at a time, one at a time. That's all you can do. I mean, starting deep in the field, I mean, it's tough to battle up through the pack here. It's going to be hard to slice and dice through the field, but you have a long race. 160 laps here at Indy. It's going to be a couple hours. You're going to have a lot of pit stops and a lot of time just slowly but surely work your way up there. And you can see how dirty this racetrack is as well. I mean, it's quite surprising and quite alarming, really, how much dust and dirt these guys have kind of kicked up, just kind of cruising out there on the speedway. It'd be interesting to see, what this track is going to look like during this first lap when we get these guys up the speed. It's like they went out there and just decided to throw a whole bunch of dirt on the racetrack or something. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as we get ready to go back to green flag racing and see our official green flag fly here this evening as the pace truck will get ready to make the hard left-hand turn that will hand the field over to our flagman here at Indy. As nice and easy down the front straightaway, we will end all of the anticipation with our feature presentation as the green flag is in the air here at Indy. Oh, baby, here we go. The beating and battling gonna get fired underway as they're door-to-door down into corner number one. The great run down through one, though, for the 39 rider, Jordan Fisher. He's able to slide up, clears that 5 ride of Xavier Rogobrugge. Now trying to keep the 5 ride from his back bumper, wanting to make sure that he can make it at least one lap out there on the racetrack without having an issue, without getting turned around and put into the fence here this evening. So he's hoping that down into 3 and 4 here, he can keep that 5 ride back there at bay, and luckily enough, the caution flag does fly, so he doesn't get tore up in this one, as I believe you're going to see. Oh no, tough break here. The Pennzoil 22 ride, heavy damage for Gary Rose. Looks like Ryan Haller also a lot of damage for the bodyguard number 60 ride. Right front fairly tore up there for Ryan Haller. A couple of drivers deeper in the field running into some early issues. See if we can take a look back at it, see what happened here, and if anyone else potentially got involved. Obviously, good contact. It looks like the 2 of Landon Burbage trying to jump down low at a corner number 2 underneath the 22 here, and they're just tight together. They make contact. You already see Lucian Thompson up into the outside fence there himself, and unfortunately just slight contact, trying to make a move here right out of the get-go, trying to jump up a couple spots on the opening lap here for the 2 ride of Landon Burbage. He does get a little damage out of this, not as much as obviously what the 22 or the 60 ride get. You do see the 61 also getting up into the outside fences. He's loose out of the corner, and just a little rubbing and scrubbing there. Unfortunate contact, and unfortunately for the 22 ride, as that contact's made, washes back up the racetrack into the lap there of Ryan Haller. Big contact into the outside fence, into the 60 ride, and unfortunately pretty solid damage there for both those cats. So the 60 of Haller, the 22 of Gary Rose, they'll be looking to try to get their cars repaired, get back into one good working condition. I'm sure Lucian Thompson's going to be looking for some damage repair there as well after getting into the outside fence. Out of corner number 2 is unfortunately definitely tough here this evening, as the dirt is from the weenie races. The weenie races. Those gosh dang Oscar Mayer fans, man, putting too much dirt out there on the racetrack. Maybe that's what's got some of these drivers a little mixy and a little sliding around here. Start this race. Unfortunately for a few, we'll have to hit pit road, get repairs. You do see the 24 Ryan Terrence Murphy. That was great news for him as he was able to reel in the rear of the field here with this caution flag. He had to start down pit side. He would have been, virtually straight away or a little bit more behind the field here to start this race. So we do see a bunch of drivers in the back of the pack are going to hit pit road, are going to get fuel and tires. Looked like the 24 was thinking about going, but looks like he'll take the track position over hitting pit road here early on as we take a look. Evan Stewart down pit side. It's like Applegate, Michael Ponder Jr., Chess Hamby, Landon Burbidge, Lucian Thompson, Haulers down pit road, Gary Rose, Mike Corvo, all hitting pit lane here themselves. Some for fuel, some for some damage repair here early on this evening, and ready to rock and roll and get back after it here this evening as, again, another race. Our opening lap sees a caution flag, and that means we'll get another start early on here, man, and we'll stack them up, we'll rack them up, and we will try it all over again. I mean, for Jordan Fisher, I mean, at least this time he's able to run some laps, lead some laps here this evening, and at least so far, 2 laps in, the car is, without damage and without any major issues here. So things are a lot better than what they were last week for that 39 ride. That is for certain. As Bill Fisher says, good luck, Jordan, cheering on the fish here this afternoon. Is Jordan going to be looking to try to keep this 39 ride out in front all night long and try to win one of our crown jewels and one of our 100% race length battles here, and obviously an in-season tournament as well. Now, for the in-season tournament, I believe it's a head-to-head matchup. I'm not sure if there's a graphic for it or where I may be able to find the graphic. I don't know where that would be. Season standings, maybe? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it looks like we're down to our final 8 drivers here for the in-season tournament. Matthew Wood versus Austin Thompson. I believe Matthew Wood is not here today. Yeah, no Matthew Wood out there on the racetrack. So with Matthew not here, that is a virtual bye for Austin Thompson into round number 4 here of our in-season tournament. And then it is going to be Jaden Browder versus Chess Hamby. Is another battle, another duel here this afternoon. Joseph Smith versus Ryan Haller. Well, Smith is doing pretty decent up there towards the front of the field. Unfortunately for Ryan Haller, early on damage and in a tough spot here to start this race, but it's not over yet for Haller, so we'll see if he can maybe keep on rolling, get that thing repaired, and then if Smith runs into issues here, potentially Haller could still steal that away from him. Same with Browder and Chess Hamby. I mean, do see Bogart and Aiden Lucas as well is the 4th battle here for round 3 of our in-season tournament. So it's going to be interesting, man, who's going to move forward here out of the 8 drivers left in the in-season tournament. I mean, obviously Wood's not going to move forward. Austin Thompson will go in to round number 4. He'll face either Browder or Chess Hamby in that 4th round to go for potentially the in-season championship here in 2 weeks' time. Obviously for Joseph Smith and Haller and Bogart and Aiden Lucas, I mean, they'll face off against one another here for that 4th round as well. So it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be interesting to see who can advance forward and try to put themselves into the next round here and continue their battle for the in-season championship here this year. But for each and every one of these drivers, even if you're not a part of the in-season championship, you still want to jump out there, put together a great race and show that, hey, you know what? I had that one bad race. Unfortunately, I did not get the ticket forward, but I want to prove that I could have beat potentially the guy I would have faced week after week after week, and we'll see if, each and every one of these drivers is able to put the right foot forward and put together some good laps here, put together a great battle and some good green flag laps for all of us to enjoy here. It's down through the restart zone. Here we go, back to battle once again. Green flag back into the air. Great restart for Fisher there on the inside lane. He's going to be able to bring his Fish Speed Brakes teammate 45 of Wells right there with him as they both stroll right on around that 5 ride of Xavier Rugglebrugge. Xavier now just trying to hold on to 3rd as he's got that 34 of Aiden Lucas looking down to his inside. Aiden trying to jump up into that 3rd position as they're door to door down the back straightaway, but it's Jordan Fisher again who will lead us nice and easy into corner number 3. This time, though, it looks like everybody's good. Everyone's still pointing in the right direction down into corner number 3, and we'll see if they can make it through corner number 4 or not. There's a few few drivers moving around. Looks like the 77 of Caleb Holloman may have gotten up into the outside fence. A little bit of right front damage and a loss of pace here out of the 77 ride. So he's sliding backwards ever so slightly, but we are able to complete a good green flag lap out there on the speedway. It's Jordan Fisher out in front. Fisher has the top spot. He continues to lead the charge. It's Colby Wells, his teammate, back there behind him in position number 2. Aiden Luke is still battling door to door here with Xavier Ruggle-Brugge. Xavier does not want to give that spot up. Aiden still trying to steal it away from him as you see Browder, Joseph Smith, and that 67 of Jack Beauty all right there as well in their own little fight back there for the 5th position on the racetrack. Logan Hamilton not too far away. He's trying to jump into that battle, and a great run early on for the 35 ride of Cooper Goodwin. Is Goodwin up and into position number 9 here early on this evening. Austin Thompson back there in that 10th position. For Austin, I mean, great news for him. I mean, no Matthew Wood. It's actually quite surprising that we don't have Matthew not out on the racetrack. That is actually a really big surprise. I mean, Matthew is one of those guys that tends to never really miss these races. And obviously, an in-season tournament, he had made it into that 3rd round. It was him versus that 23, and obviously not being here tonight, forfeiting that spot. Austin Thompson gets the automatic push through into the next round, but we do see the caution flag come back out early here this evening as it looks like 77 rider Caleb Holloman. We saw him already get up into the outside fence, has that right front damage here on the 77. Applegate finally works his way around him. Here comes Neitz as well, trying to make the move around the Dr. Pepper ride, and it looks like he just kind of loses the rear end, starts to go around here, washes down the racetrack onto the apron, and ends up making pretty solid contact again there with that infield fence. And unfortunately, that does bring the caution flag out here this evening, so that's a bit of a tough one right there. Caution flag does fly for that 77 parked down on the apron. But luckily enough, everyone was able to avoid running through him or getting tied up into it. And unfortunately for the Dr. Pepper 1776 Motorsports ride, a little bit more damage that he's going to have to try to get, repaired and back into good working conditions here in this race. That was a big hit there for him. I mean, close call as well for the 37 ride. Evan Stewart was right there behind him. Stewart almost got a piece of him, almost helped him around. Luckily enough, just avoids contact and avoids potentially getting some early damage here himself. Woo! Hey, that's a close call there for Evan Stewart. Able to stand on his head, though, make a big move and keep himself out of any early carnage here this evening. And luckily enough, only the one car, the one issue there, and this should be a quick caution flag. Get everyone else back into it, back into the battle here this evening as Anna Ruggle-Brugge in the chat says, good luck, guys. Let's go, Xavier, number 5, cheering on Zay here this evening. As Zay, man, he's going to be looking to make some moves here. I know that 5 ride. He wants to pick up the dump here this evening. Everyone wants to win at Indy, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting to see kind of what the strategy calls will be for all these drivers, what everyone's able to kind of do here this afternoon. As Rodney says, you in for a long night with cautions. Oh, brother. Don't put that curse on me. Don't you put that curse on me, Rodney. No, it could definitely be a long, long night. If the caution flags continue at this rate, it could be a very, very long day here at the Speedway. That is for darn certain. So hopefully, we don't get too many caution flags. I mean, 2 minutes a lap for 160 laps, definitely not really what you want to see. You want to see very minimal yellow flags, especially for a 100-lap race. I mean, 6, 7, that's kind of, probably an average for a full 100% NASCAR race length battle, maybe even towards 8 or so. But obviously early on, getting 2 in the first 10 laps is not the average you kind of want to start with. So hopefully we get some more good green flag laps here this evening. I'm sure these guys will figure it out. The drivers will get a little bit more cool, they'll get more calm, and they'll kind of relax a little bit more out there and get a little bit more settled in here. Obviously the nerves, the battling early on, that kind of drives a lot of these guys to make some big moves, to make some huge decisions out there, and some bold moves as well that could unfortunately put them into a tough spot out there on the speedway. And we'll see that kind of get a little bit less likely throughout the middle portion of this race, but definitely still possible to see a lot of them here this evening. I mean, 160 laps, 4 tough corners. This is a tough racetrack. We could see a lot of drivers do exactly what we just saw the 77 ride do, and if iRacing is throwing caution flags for somebody drifting through the corner like that, then that could make for a really, really long day here at the Speedway. So hopefully iRacing doesn't keep throwing those caution flags, and if it's single car spins or anything else without contact or malice or anything else, and the driver's down on the apron, hopefully it stays a little bit more clean and green. I mean, it sucks for those drivers that do go around, but helps move the program on a little bit more here and eliminates these caution laps, as every one of these yellows, man, it's 2-3 laps of caution laps, and it just chews into the time. It slows everything down, and it makes our job tougher up here in the booth, because we not only have to keep ourselves entertained, myself into the action, but we also got to keep you guys entertained. It's tough to keep you guys entertained under yellow flag conditions, man. I mean, we got to talk a lot. We got to figure something out. Maybe start bringing some of these drivers up into the booth throughout these 100-lap races, especially if the yellow flags fly aplenty here this evening. So bear with us as we may have some, in-car interviews with some of these drivers here throughout some caution laps here this evening. As Bird Dog, what's good, Bird Dog? Bird Dog in the chat says, go Jordan, go, cheering on that Fish Speed 39 ride of Mr. Fisher here this evening, as Jordan hoping to try to keep these drivers back there at bay here this evening. As Fish Mom says, you have to stay awake. I know, I'm trying my best, Fish Mom. It's closer and closer to my bedtime, okay? I mean, we got an hour and a half. 9 o'clock is a good time to go to bed. I never go to bed at 9 o'clock, but every time it kind of hits around 9 o'clock, I'm always thinking to myself, man, it'd be great to be in bed right now. It's I like my sleep, man. And unfortunately, I got an early day Monday morning. So as soon as this is done, I'm going to be headed straight to bed and passing out for the night to get my beauty sleep in and get ready for a hard day of shoveling and raking and pouring concrete and gravel and everything else tomorrow. So going to be a lot of fun doing that. But nonetheless, it's going to be a great night of racing action, man. We'll be putting together the best show that we possibly can all night long for all you amazing fans in the stands, as we get them all ready to rumble, ready to go back to green flag racing, as the pace truck will make the hard left-hand turn back down pit side here this evening. Down into that restart zone, Jordan Fisher, Kobe Wells will take us back to the green flag, and Fisher, again, another good restart here. Good restart there. He's able to get a good enough shove from that 34 ride of Aiden Lucas to put himself out in front and clear the outside lane. But now he's got Aiden right there on his back bumper, as everybody battling down through corner number 1 and 2 out there on the speedway. Everyone's trying to find that extra inch, that extra mile to maybe jump up and steal a few extra positions here on these restarts. These restarts, man, they're massive for trying to gain a couple extra spots out there on the racetrack, to try to move yourself a little farther forward. As, oh, look, yeah, we have one sideways. Oh, luckily enough, it's the 8 right at Trent Johns, was able to catch it, able to save it right there, keep it rolling, keeps it pointing the right direction, but does end up with some pretty solid left front damage here on that Lucas Oil number 8 car. Let's see if we can take a look back at it, see what happens here. As let's throw it in reverse, let's back it up, Terry, and let's take a look at it. As, man, just looks like, I don't know if he makes contact here with the 23. Yeah, it looks like Austin Thompson kind of gets a little checked up here. He sees a little contact in the movement out of Browder up the racetrack in front of him. I think he backs it up. Ryan doesn't quite get that memo, drives into the back end of him, gets sideways, pushes up the racetrack. Luckily enough, though, able to keep it pointed the right direction, keeps it rolling, and does not go around or have anyone else run him over and make a pile up there down through corner 3 and 4. So heartbreaker there for him. Obviously, early contact, early damage. Now a loss of quite a bit of track position for that Lucas Oil number 8 machine. Some pretty solid left front damage as well. And he's back there deeper in the field. But out in front, it's Jordan Fisher who continues to lead the charge here. Jordan out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one, as Ruggle Bruggy says, at your GMOS, checking you out. Go Racer X. Racer X, man, having himself a heck of a show, heck of a race here this evening, as Xavier Ruggle Bruggy rolls there in position number 3, trying to jump back into the battle here. Obviously, he's worked his way around Aiden Lucas once again. Lucas back into 4th, but now he's trying to reel in Colby Wells and Jordan Fisher for the top 2 spots. As it's once again Fish Speed Breaks 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway, and Zay's right there ready to pounce, ready to try to make that move around that 45 right at Colby Wells, but spread out here, a couple car lengths between each of them. This is what we tend to usually see here at Indianapolis. Once we start to kind of get these green flag laps in, I feel like we can really see a good long green flag run. That is the nice thing about Indy, is that it is a pretty big racetrack. It's pretty wide. I mean, it's tough racing. The tires are going to continue to fall off. Drivers will continue to struggle with a little bit of looseness out there and slipping and sliding and potential contact with that outside fence throughout the evening. But as we kind of get into that 10, 15, 20 laps of a run, you're really going to start to see things get a little bit more opened up, a little bit more spread out, and luckily enough for a lot of these drivers, a lot more room to work out there on the speedways. Fisher, Wells 1 and 2, Zane's there in 3rd with Lucas and Smith, our top 5 out there on the racetrack. Logan Hamilton rolls there in position number 6. Jaden Browder's back in 7th with Jack Beauty, Cooper Goodwin, and Austin Thompson still hanging on to a top 10 run here this evening. Logan Perriman's back in 11th with Wyatt Mickelson there in 12th. Grant Applegate and his Red Bull Fish Speed Breaks number 57 machine up 9 positions early on here this evening. I do believe one of our hard chargers so far here today, as he finds himself there in that 13th spot on the speedway. Jason Bogart back there in position number 14, and Evan Stewart now into that 15th position, trying to hang on to it as he's got the do-right of Landon Burbage there to his inside. Burbage looking to work his way inside our top 15, making some big moves early on here this evening in that Prince's Towing number 2 car. The 24 at Terrence Murphy right there with him. We saw Murphy, unfortunately, miss the start of this race. Have to start from down pit side. Was going to start deep in the field anyways, but for that 24, he's made up some good ground. He's raced his way past quite a few drivers and now finds himself up here in this battle for the 15th position, as Burbage back there unfortunately does lose that spot, not only to the 37 but also to the 24, as Burbage now sits in 17th. He's got Stephen Blevins there to his back bumper. Ben Knight Neat there in that Fish Speed Breaks number 66 ride in that 19th position. Ryan Haller, luckily enough, that extra caution flag, I think it was enough time that Haller was able to sit down pit side, get that fast and all bodyguard ride fixed up, back into one good piece here. No major damage to the 60 ride here this evening. And for Ryan Haller, still very much in the battle here this evening, still in this hunt at the front, as we do see the 66 moving around quite a bit right there. At first I thought he was with the hit pit road, but it looks like he is going to stay out. Just kind of came down the racetrack there towards the infield fence there, but kind of just lets the 60 Ryan Haller go on by. He's going to be a little bit more cool and content here in that 20th position. Not going to contest it there. Battle too hard there with Haller, so he lets him go, as a few of these drivers back here a little deeper in the field. Obviously taking a lot easier. Not sure if this is by design, trying to save fuel, trying to save tires, or just maybe just not having the cars that they were hoping for here today, as you do see Chas Hamby, Mike Corriveau, Jaden Porter, Michael Ponder Jr. is back there in that Mountain Dew pitch black number 13 ride, and then you do see Trent Johns, who got that damage and almost went around, almost brought the caution flag back out there through 3 and 4. Not too many laps to go, but the 8 ride rolling back in 25th has Lucian Thompson, and that 22 with Gary Rose there at the back of the pack. Rounding out our top 27 of lead lap drivers, unfortunately for Caleb Holloman, who's back out there on the racetrack, he has unfortunately fallen a couple laps down. So for right now, Holloman is in that free pass position. A couple lucky ducks. He could get himself back on the lead lap, back into the battle here today, but he's going to need some of these stage breaks or quick caution flags to hurry up and work into his favor to get him right back into the battle here this evening, as we will have 2 stage breaks here this evening throughout our 160 lap race. We will have a stage break at the completion of lap number 40 to end stage 1, and a stage break at the completion of lap number 80 to complete stage number 2. So 2 40-lap runs and an 80-lap run to finish off our feature event here this evening. So still a lot of racing, still a lot of time here for these drivers to try to work their way forward as we inch closer and closer to the completion of lap number 20 here, and about the midway point of our first stage of the day. But for Jordan Fisher, I mean, he's just sitting pretty here. He's out in front, still has about 0.6 of a second lead between himself and Colby Wells, and then a little bit more of a gap back to Xavier Ruggelbrugge as Zag still rolls there in that 3rd position. He has been able to reel in the 45 a little bit more, but we'll have to wait and see. If they start battling there for 2nd, it could allow Jordan Fisher to pull even farther away, but we do see contact deeper in the field, and the caution flag will come back out. Gary Rose, Michael Ponder Jr. getting tied up in this one. Caution flag is back out here on the speedway. Let's take a look at it, see what happens as Ponder maybe run into an issue here. Looks like it. So Ponder down into corner 1 and 2. In through 1. Just looks like maybe washes up the racetrack a little bit. There it is. Loose on exit. Tries to save it. Car snap hooks back up the racetrack. Car contact up into the outside fence. And unfortunately, as he's still rolling out on the speedway, comes out of corner number 4. Tries to get down onto the apron right there. And as he cuts down towards the apron, obviously doesn't see the car coming to his inside right here. And with the 22 down low, trying to squeeze by the 13 ride, who's in the fence and destroyed. Unfortunately, ends up getting clipped right here. I think the 13 probably should have just waited, half a second or two to kind of move down the racetrack there. I'm not sure if he saw him in his mirrors or looked at the window, but unfortunately comes down anyways. Unfortunately, right into that right rear quarter panel of the 22 ride. They both end up going for loop-de-loops. The shell machine ends up making hard contact there with that outside fence. The 13 gets into it a little bit more as they continue their do-si-do down the back straightaway. Both drivers end up with some pretty solid damage here, and unfortunately, here comes the 77 rider, Caleb Holloman. He comes by, and he sees the synchronized racing out there on the racetrack. He sees the do-si-do going on back there deeper in the field. Let's see if we can take another look at it here. Obviously, tough hit for the 13 ride. I mean, almost saved it right here. Almost saved it. Almost got it pointed back in the right direction, but a little overcorrection, and then it just kind of snap hooks back up into the fence. Big hit there for him, and then continues to, I mean, this is the right move. Keep it up into the fence, let these guys go by, but didn't quite let them all go by before he comes down the racetrack there and puts these two through there. Do-si-do on the back straightaway, and unfortunately for Michael Ponder Jr., he does tow it right down pit side. I believe he is now taking it down behind pit wall. So a lot of damage, tore up 13 machine. Looks like it may be an early exit here this evening for that number 13 right now. For Gary Rose, he's trying to get this car more repaired. Already had some damage on that Pennzoil 22 ride, so the crew is going to continue on working on it, trying to get it even more repaired here, trying to get more of that damage fixed up. And obviously, you're going to see Caleb Holloman get the wave around. So great break there for Holloman. He does get the wave, does get a lap back, and being only halfway through our first stage of the day, the possibility and the opportunity to get another lucky dunk, to get another free pass here at our stage break, get him back on the lead lap, back into the battle here this evening is definitely going to be a possibility. So Ponder is still back in here, so he did jump back out onto the racing surface, so he's down pit side. We'll see if the crew can get that thing repaired and get him back out there as Trent Johns getting more repairs. Lucian Thompson still trying to get this Napa machine fixed up after his early contact with the outside fence. So a few drivers getting some early damage repair, other drivers staying out here. It's quite surprising, actually. I mean, we have ran quite a few caution laps, so maybe that puts, drivers like Jordan Fisher, Colby Wells, Xavier Ruggle-Brugge, a lot of these guys, in a position where, fuel really isn't a problem. As I say that, we do see the 23 ride of Austin Thompson hit pit road right here. Now, he did enter pit road during a closed pit lane. That's interesting here. Closed pit road, it does show that he's got a black flag. We'll have to wait and see if that holds up, if that black flag will stay there, or if iRacing or one of the admins potentially removes that for him. Nonetheless, Austin Thompson, I mean, even if he has a bad run and finishes dead last year in this race, I mean, Matthew would not be in here this afternoon. It automatically pushes him through the round for our in-season tournament. So great news there for Austin Thompson that his competitor did not show up here this evening and does not have to compete with Matthew for potentially that ticket on to the next round of our in-season tournament. As we get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back after it again here in this one is Jordan Fisher, Colby Wells, ready to get back after him, man, ready to duke it out once again with Zay there in third. Gonna try to stick right to the back bumper of this 39 ride, hoping to try to give him a big enough shove on this restart that not only will he push the 39 clear of Colby Wells, but maybe even try to clear himself. I mean, now with another fish speed ride right there on his back bumper with Logan Hamilton back there in that 5th position, I mean, it may really help out that inside lane, time things up, get a big launch, big restart, and try to work their way forward. But for right now, it looks like our top 9 drivers did not come down pit road. Now, we did have Applegate down pit side on lap number 2. That was just to get a little extra fuel there on that second lap, but he has not been back down pit side since then. So top 9 virtually did not come down pit road during this caution flag. Everyone else behind them all hit pit road. Every one of them came down pit side there on lap number 20, virtually splitting this stage. So we'll have to wait and see if some drivers took tires, other drivers maybe just took fuel. Now this may work out for them here coming to the potential close of our first stage of the day, as here we go, ready to go back at it, as down through that restart zone. 39 rider Jordan Fisher does get a pretty good launch right there. Great restart. Wells, good restart on the outside groove, is able to beat the 5 ride of Xavier Ruggle-Brugge back down into corner number 1. So Zay stays in third here as and Wells right up into second. Once again, going to stick right there to the back bumper of Jordan Fisher. Fisher looking to try to hang on to this race lead still, as he's been that reflection of perfection so far here this evening. But back there behind him, man, a lot of slicing and dicing, a lot of big runs, a lot of big moves back here that drivers have been making, trying to slice and dice their way through the field, try to work their way up towards the front of the pack, and it's tight racing back here. A lot of movement, a lot of different runs, a lot of drivers either having to roll out of it or put into a difficult position in that outside lane. Other drivers trying to use the outside lane to their advantage, as they do see the 34 rider Aiden Lucas. He jumps up there into that outside groove. He's able to get a great run down the front straightaway. We'll battle door to door with the 99 rider Logan Perriman down into quarter number 1 and out at 2. Looks like Perriman will fall back at least one spot here as the 34 does get around him. And now for Aiden Lucas, I mean, highest running driver in our top 10, but with made a pit stop. No caution flag here as of yet, but unfortunately, Stephen Blevins and Logan Perriman tore up here out of corner number 2. No yellow flag. It stayed clean and green. I do not know how that one happened. I don't know how that did not bring a caution flag out, but it looks like for the 15 right up, Blevins just Gets loose out of corner number 4. I don't know if it's just the air kind of getting packed onto that left rear out of corner number 2 as the 31, the 99 ride. We're down to his inside, but nonetheless, for Blevins right here, rear end starts to step out around Autumn, and as that happens, 31 misses any contact, but unfortunately comes down the speedway into the lap of the 99 ride of Logan Perriman. Both drivers end up down into the apron here, and unfortunately that was a huge hit there for Blevins. Big hit there for him. Huge contact for that Skyline 15 machine, and then you do see the 99 of Logan Perriman slide back up the racetrack here. This is where I kind of thought you would have saw the yellow flag fly, but it stays clean and green, so luckily enough for us there, that did not bring out another quick caution flag, and we're able to keep on battling for Perriman. Luckily enough, no major contact and damage there for him, so that is a great break there for the 99 ride. I mean, he tried to get slowed up right there as the 22 gets around him. There goes the 15. I think he was trying to get checked up a little bit more there, hoping that potentially we would see the caution flag come out, and then he ends up looping it there as well. So I think he was trying his hardest there to get that yellow flag. Unfortunately, never got one. As Jordan Fisher continues to lead the charge, as Ronnie says, didn't mean to put the cautions on you. Yeah, I mean, it happens, Ronnie. It happens, brother. I mean, sometimes, you know, someone just jumps in here, curses us with the caution flag curse. I mean, it happens. It happens. Today it was you. I tend to not even like to say the C word. It's really not part of my vocabulary. Prior to having one out there on the racetrack, we don't like to mention it early on, or else we tend to see them fly early on. So hopefully that concludes that portion of the race in those yellow flames coming out, and hopefully it is nothing but good, hard, clean, green racing here for the rest of the night. Now, we will see at least a couple more with our stage breaks, and we've seen these restarts and how crazy they are and how tight the battles are and how close the contact is between these drivers and how easy these things are to loop around. So we'll have to keep a close eye on them, because we could definitely see a lot more here throughout this race. But some great battling here, man. These guys putting together a heck of a show for us, as Jordan Fisher out in front continues to lead the charge. Kobe Wells there in second. Xavier Rugglebrugge back in third. Jack Buelty, Logan Hamilton. Then we do see Aiden Lucas, Grant Applegate. The number 31 of Joseph Smith is back in that 8th position, with Jaden Browder and Terrence Murphy rounding out our top 10. Jason Bogart there in 11 with Cooper Goodwin. Landon Burbage having a great recovery day here after starting at the rear of the field for the 13 ride. And Ryan Haller, after starting at the back of the pack here himself and getting tied up in the opening wreck of the evening, has gotten the 60 ride fixed up back into pretty decent condition, and he's raced his way now up into that 14th position. So Ryan Haller looking pretty strong here this evening. Wyatt Mickelson's there in 15th with Trent Johns, Jaden Porter, Bennett Neitz, and then we do see Austin Thompson and Lucian Thompson back there in 19th and 20th out there on the speedway. But out in front, it's all Jordan Fisher. Now the big question mark will be if it stays clean and green here for the next 12 laps of racing action prior to our stage break. For the guys that did not come down pit road there throughout that caution flag back around lap 18-19. I mean, obviously we saw pretty much everybody come down pit road there on lap 20, get fuel, get tires, get everything else that they desire, and the rest of these guys, Fisher, Wells, Zay, Buelty, I mean, what is the call here? Does the strategy work into their favor? Can they make it to the end of the stage, or will they be banking on potentially a caution here prior to the end of this stage where they can make it down pit side? But I don't know, man. I feel like they've got to go for that game plan. They got to stretch the fuel out. They got to make it to the end of stage number 1. If not, it's all for nothing out there, and could definitely set them back, even if there is another yellow here in the next 5, 6 laps, 7 laps out there on the racetrack. They're going to lose probably a lot of track position, because everyone else that was down pit road is going to stay out here with even 10, 15 lap older tires. Should be able to hold them off, throughout this run, man. There is the caution flag. Yellow is out. Oh, there goes the 35 ride and the 17. Bogart and Cooper Goodwin tied together. Pretty solid contact here for both of them as they're parked up into the outside fence of corner number 2. So the yellow flag will fly again here this evening. Let's take a look back at it. Tight racing. Bogart's up on the outside. The 35 ride, a Goodwin on the inside. They head down through corner 1 and out of 1. I'm not sure if Bogarts comes down or the 35 comes up. Oh, and Haller's right in the middle of it, too. Haller ends up getting more damage out of that one. Hopefully not too much contact there for the 60 ride as Haller kind of, again, just nowhere to go. Chaos in front of him, and unfortunately, gets tied up in it. Let's see if we can take another look at it. So, Bogart's right here, down through corner number 1. 35 right down low. Looks like the 35 here. 17, they both start to go up the racetrack, and it looks like the 17 just doesn't go up as quickly or as far as I think the 35 ride was expecting him to go up, and I think they just kind of get tied together right here, and 35 gets into that left rear quarter panel. 17 tries to save it. Unfortunately, just kind of bent to the shape. Spins around, gets up, nosed into the outside fence. The 35 ride loses the rear end and the front end there as well, and he starts to go around. That's what clips Haller right there in the door panel, that left rear, and then Haller gets a piece of the 17 ride. Unfortunately, some pretty good contact there for that 60 machine as well, but then we do see Bogart and the 35 point the wrong direction there. Down through quarter number 2, and pretty solid contact for all 3 of these guys, man. I mean, that's a heartbreaker for Haller again. Just tight racing, tough contact, and again, another solid caution flag and a couple tore up race cars out there on the speedway. Now, hopefully, both Bogarts and Cooper will be able to keep on battling, keep on racing here this evening, and be able to kind of rejoin the party here today and get back into the fun out there on the racetrack as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. But we will see some pit stops here. We do see Applegate going to come down pit road. Looks like Haller's down pit side as well. He's looking to get some repairs done, obviously, on that 60 ride. Goravo, Chess Hamby. Here comes Goodwin down pit side. Same with Bogart, Stephen Blevins. He's looking to get repairs, so he hits pit lane. Gary Rose also down pit side, as it looked like Logan Perriman, unfortunately, having to make that green flag pit stop. I believe he did fall 2 laps down out there on the racetrack, so he is 2 laps down. I believe Gary Rose is 1 lap down. Yes, 1 lap down for Gary Rose. Caleb Hallman is going to get the lucky dog again to get back on the lead lap. So that's a great break there for Hallman, able to stick with it after losing 2 laps early on here this evening. He's back into the action, back into the battle here, onto the lead lap in that 25th position for Gary Rose. Once we see the stage break happen, he could be in line for the lucky dog here himself to get back on the lead lap. And then Logan Perriman will need a couple caution flags trying to work this UPS number 99 ride back on the lead lap, as you do see Michael Ponder out there as well. That Mountain Dew pitch black machine rolls there in 28th. Unfortunately here, he is, I believe, 10 laps down out there on the speedway. So a tough early start here for the 13 ride of Michael Ponder Jr. That's going to be pretty much impossible to probably get back, or at least hopefully impossible for him to get back. I hope we do not see, potentially 13 more caution flags here in this race after only 31 laps of battling here, but to be 32 this time by the start-finish line. We are already working our 4th caution flag of the day, and here of stage number 1, as we'll get them ready to roll here once again, ready to go back to battle here this evening, as we'll get a quick word in from our amazing sponsors at KK Woodscapes here in the wheel-to-wheel race.
your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
Alrighty, as we're ready to get back to battle, we're ready to duke it out here once again here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the number 39 at Jordan Fisher looking for another big restart, hoping to try to keep Colby Wells, Xavier Ruggle-Brugge, Aiden Lucas, and the rest of the field back there at bay as he's looking to try to pick up our first stage win here this evening. As Bill Fisher says, nice, consistent race. Jordan cheering on Jordan Fisher here this evening as Ronnie says, it's always me, it's always me, it's always you, Ronnie. Jinxing us here on the channel, brother. No, it's not always you. It's not always you. Sometimes it's you. And Cher Holler in the chat as well says, hello, everyone. Have a great race tonight. Peace to Peacemaker. What's good, Cher? How are you? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Sunday. As here we go, back to battle at Indy. As the 39 of Jordan Fisher, another great restart, another great launch out of that 39 ride as everyone's slicing and dicing. They know that there's some big points on the line here as our first stage of the day is about to come to a close here in just a few more laps. So they're trying to navigate their way to the front, trying to put themselves into position here this evening to try to gain some big points. You look at them, 3-4 wide, spread out deep down through corner number 3 as Jack Bulte trying to hold off the 34 of Aiden Lucas. Lucas opens up the door as now here comes Jaden Browder and Joseph Smith poking their nose right into that battle as the 39 rider Jordan Fisher separates himself a little bit more once again from Colby Wells. The battle's on though back there behind him because Wells, Xavier Ruggle-Brugge, they're sitting solidly here in first, second, and third. They got not a lot of pressure to their back bumpers as now the 34 ride of Lucas has been able to clear that hornet's nest and now trying to keep himself in front of it, hoping that he can try to hold on to a good solid fourth place run here in stage number 1. You do see Browder up into that 5th position, but Joseph Smith, Jack Bulte still battling here for that 6th position on the speedway. Throw Logan Hamilton right into that mix. The 2 ride of Landon Burbage is there. Same with Terrence Murphy. That 51 of Wyatt Mickelson. Trent Johns has battled his way back up there towards the front. So they're still duking it out here in this one. It sure says, come on, Holler, move it up. Mickelson doing great tonight. Mickelson has been doing pretty decent. I mean, Holler was just in front of him. Unfortunately, Ryan got tied up in an early race issue. Just got tied up in the last caution flag. He's been battling back, though. He's been racing his way up here towards the front, and I think he's got a pretty decent car here this evening. But look out! Sideways, the 24, hang on to it. Terrence Murphy almost around out of corner number 1. Luckily enough, able to keep that big point in the right direction as there goes Applegate and Austin Thompson around those guys as Landon Burbage will steal that position. The 51 will go there as well as Mickelson now works his way around Terrence Murphy. Murphy falls back into 14th out there on the speedway, but it's all Jordan Fisher out there on the racetrack. Fisher leads the charge. Colby Wells about a second back in there in position number 2 as we do see the 34 of Aiden Lucas has now raced his way up and into position number 3, has worked his way around Xavier Ruggle-Brugge. Zay falls back into position number 4, but now quickly as Jaden Browder working to his inside here. Browder blinking there quite a bit as well. That's going to make it really, really tough to battle door to door with the car to your outside and trying to battle through these corners, and Zay's not going to know where you are. Could definitely cause issues out there on the racetrack, so Browder's got to be careful with that internet connection as we do see Aiden Lucas trying to go after Colby Wells for position number 2 out there on the racetrack. Some great battle and duking it out here this evening as each and every one of these drivers trying to race their way to the front, trying to put themselves into the winning position out there on the speedway. But for right now, I mean, it's Jordan Fisher who's looking to try to win this stage. He's got himself a pretty comfortable lead now, especially as, you know, the 34 still trying to make his way around Wells, but looks like he's finally able to get a good run down to the inside. Drag race down the front straightaway back back into corner number 1. Browder's gonna, make contact. There at the 45. Somehow, both drivers keep pointing in the right direction. No, there goes the 45. Big hit for Colby Wells. Collects the 24 machine as well as Terrence Murphy gets some contact into it. Then we do see Jason Bogart also go around right there as, oh man, tough racing, tight battle in there. And it looks like, unfortunately, the 45 rider Colby Wells struggling here towards the end of this run. I mean, had obviously the 34 chase him down. Browder was right there, and then it just looks like on corner entry, see how Browder doesn't quite enter completely low like the 34 ride does. Kind of enters a little bit more towards the middle. Honestly, for the 45 ride, trying to stay as tight as he can to the left rear of the 34 of Aiden Lucas to keep himself right there with that number 34 ride and continue to try to battle there. Let's see if we can get another look at it as just tight racing, and it looks like Browder may just misses the bottom here a little bit, sends it in there deep. Car pushed up the racetrack there without driving through the 34, unfortunately. Has to push up the racetrack. As he does, he pushes up into that left rear quarter panel of the 45 ride, and then it looked like for both drivers, looked like they were going to catch it right here. It looks like both of them back pointing the right direction. They're both rolling, but it looks like the 45 ride still just little ill handling there. The corner bounces back down into the 11, bounces off the 11, up the racetrack, hard contact into the outside fence. Big hit there for him. Lots of damage for the 45 ride as he continues to go for a loop-de-loop here. We're going to see right there the 24 gets a piece of him, gets a piece of that fence. Big damage there for also Terrence Murphy, but we also saw Xavier Rugglebruggy and the 11 kind of stay together here as well as Zay just trying to work his way through it. Obviously sees both drivers going around. It works out perfectly for the 67 ride of Jack Buelte and the 31 as they see it happening. They jump down low. Look at the 31 right of Smith, able to get down low enough to avoid contact with the 11 and the 45 to steal all three of those positions, and then same with the 67, but see the 45 into the fence. Browder sideways there after that contact, and then unfortunately Zay does get a piece of them. They bounce off one another. Unfortunately, there's some contact and some damage for Xavier out of that ordeal. And then Browder sideways on the racetrack. Everyone else trying to avoid him, hoping not to drive through him here. We do see Mickelson ends up getting sideways right there. He ends up nosed up into the outside fence. So let's take a look back at Mickelson, see the contact here that he has as he shoots it down in here and obviously trying to avoid the 45. And then all of a sudden there's the 11 parked sideways. And as he moves back up the racetrack to avoid him, car just hooks around on him there, up into the outside fence. Ends up getting some pretty solid right front damage there for the 51 of Wyatt Mickelson. So that's going to send him back a little bit here this afternoon as well. But another quick caution flag. And unfortunately there for a few drivers, pretty tore up out there on the speedway. But we only get one lap left to go here in this stage. So our stage should come to a close here under the yellow. So Jordan Fisher going to win stage number 1 here this evening. Aiden Lucas will come home in second with Joseph Smith, Jack Buelte, Xavier Rugglebruggy, our top 5 here in stage number 1. And then we will see Grant Applegate, Logan Hamilton, Trent Johns, Austin Thompson, and Landon Burbage rounding out the top 10 as we are about an hour into the broadcast, about an hour into the racing action here this evening. I mean, honestly, 40 laps in, you want to be a lot less time than that, but I mean, I don't know. What's the pace here? I feel like we're a little bit off the pace with how many yellow flags we've had, but virtually 40 laps in is, what, a quarter of the way through this race, so 25% of the way done. I mean, we could be here for 4 hours tonight, chat. I hope we're not here for 4 hours, but that is definitely going to be a possibility here this evening as hopefully the yellow flags kind of clean up and hopefully we get to see some more good green flag runs out there. I'd love to start to see these guys have to make green flag pit stops. Green flag pit stops here at Indy, always so exciting, almost so much fun seeing these guys have to hit pit road, get down to pit road speed and make these stops, man. Tight pit stalls, interesting pit lane, and definitely an interesting exit off of pit road, so it'd be fun to see kind of what these guys got in store for us here this evening for those green flag stops. And we may see them here throughout this Second stage, if we stay clean and green, I mean, it's definitely going to be a possibility, or we may see it stay clean and green and no one have to make a green flag pit stop here throughout stage number 2. But we should see, the lights are still on the official iRacing pace truck, so they are going to finish this stage off under the yellow. Everyone should get an opportunity to hit pit road this next time by the pit lane, so that's going to be great news for them, as they're going to be able to make their either first stops of this race or potentially their a second, third stop here for some, as we have seen a few drivers make multiple trips down pit road, trying to get repairs, trying to get fixed up and back into the battle here this evening. We do see Kobe Wells down there. Looks like he's just going to make sure he tries to get worked out in this one, as Fish Mom says, good job, Jordan. Good job there for Jordan, as Roddy says, oh, no. He says, no, dang it. As Andrew Seuss says, feels like there's been more than 5 yellows, laugh out loud. Right, Andrea, right. That definitely feels like there's more, as Ronnie Stewart says, what, you can't handle me for 4 hours, laugh out loud? Trust me, I can handle the chat for 4 hours. But the intensity, the enthusiasm that we gotta pump out here for all the great racing, all the great action here for you guys, man, it gets tougher and tougher the longer we go in these things, man. And 4 hours, man, that's a long night. I mean, that's longer than I think we ran for our Coke 600. If it stays on the same pace, I mean, we could be really, really close to that. We could be very, very close to potentially seeing, kind of roughly about that same area. Let me take a look back here. What do we run for the Coke 600 here? That was Texas, so we want to go a little farther back. Rockingham, where was? There it is, the wheel 600. Okay, so yeah, the Coca-Cola 600, I guess it was roughly about that. It was 4.5 hours long. It was 4 hours, 34 minutes. That was a 600-mile race, though. That was 600 miles. I mean, that was to be a little bit more expected going that much farther. I mean, Indianapolis, I mean, it takes a little bit more per lap, but I mean, it is still only 400-mile race compared to a 600-mile race, and we're kind of on that same category, that same kind of time frame there. So I mean, obviously just these yellows, I mean, these yellows just chew up so much time, Chad. That's the thing, and that's why, Andrew Sue, that's why it feels like, it's only been 5 yellows. It feels like it's been a lot more, because it's just these yellows take so much more time. We're running laps towards 51 seconds per lap under green flag conditions when that caution flag comes out. Every single caution lap is about 2 minutes to about 2.5 minutes long, especially if you do get pit stops in there. So having a 2 minute to 2.5 minute lap compared to a 51-second lap, doubling, maybe even 1.5xing, every single lap time, I mean, just extends these yellows a ton. I mean, when you have extra yellows or you have a lot of yellows at a short track, it goes by quick. The yellows fly by because it only takes, 30 seconds or 40 seconds to get around the racetrack, where here it's like Daytona or Talladega, where the laps just chew at you under yellow, man. They just eat at you. But we do see a few drivers looking to hit pit road here, looking to get waves. Looks like they will hit pit lane, as there goes the 97 down pit sign of Mike Corvo. We do see the 99 right also hit pit road of Logan Perriman, trying to get fuel and tires, everything else that they need, as we do see Mike Corvo looks like he's going to end up with a black flag coming down pit road here. I'm not sure if that was too late of a pit stop or what the deal may be there for the Marlboro number 97 ride, but nonetheless, he does earn a black flag, so maybe even just too fast entering pit road or an unsafe pit road entry for that 97 ride. But we will get ready to go back to green flag racing. It looks like winning the race off of pit road was this 57 of Grant Applegate. So for the first time here this evening, Jordan Fisher does not have control of this restart. Fisher will start behind the 57 ride here this evening, and for Grant Applegate, obviously, this could work out really nicely for him. Clean air, being at the front of the pack here, I mean, he's had some tough luck. He's been in a few tough issues back there deeper in the field, a lot of tight battles, but he's been playing the pit strategy, and obviously we saw him down pit road, I believe, back on lap number 31 during one of those last caution flags, and he was able to kind of get rolling. He made up a lot of ground throughout the green flag run prior to this last caution flag, and obviously needed a little bit less fuel. Maybe didn't need tires, so may have just been a fuel-only pit stop there for the 57, and able to kind of roll back out there onto the racetrack and in front of, obviously, for the 39 of Jordan Fisher, the 34 of Aiden Lucas, and the rest of the field. So Applegate, our new race leader here this evening. It's been all fish speed, though, nonetheless, at the front of the pack here, and for Applegate, he's hoping that he can keep up with this 39 ride. Maybe give Jordan a bit of a run for his money here this evening. Aiden Lucas trying to stay right there with him as well. We'll see Jack Buelte, Joseph Smith, Austin Thompson, Logan Hamilton, Cooper Goodwin back up inside our top 10. Same with Trent Johns and Landon Burbage, rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. As Carol Papas in the chat says, "Let's go Xavier, number 5. Aunt Carol's rooting for you." Aunt Carol in the chat cheering on Zay here this evening as, man, big moves there off that restart. Big moves, couple big launches, and for the 57 Applegate, he will lead us down through corner 1 and into corner number 2 is the 34 of Aiden Lucas, trying to stay to the inside of 39 right of Jordan Fisher. They both kind of push up the track right there. They're tight together down the back straightaway and in to corner number 3. But it is that number 57 of Applegate who will lead us back down into corner number 3, hoping to keep these guys still back there at bay as Aiden Lucas still trying to complete the pass here on the 39 right of Jordan Fisher, and there is the caution flag. Yellow flag will fly again. Rodney, you cursed us here today, brother. You cursed us, my man. As we do see Cooper Goodwin turned around. I believe we're going to see Stephen Blevins tied up in this one. Heavy damage there for Blevins. A few more drivers collected here as well. Let's take a look back. See what happens here. See how this kind of gets started, as it looks like, I mean, Cooper was back up inside our top 10. So wasn't the 8 ride, and it looks like the 8 shoots it in there and just gets into that left rear. And oh, Xavier Rogelbrugge gets tied up into it as well. Oh, no. Huge hits there for Zay. Oh, man. Aunt Carol in the chat. Oh, man, Aunt Carol, I think you might have jinxed Zay right here, unfortunately. For the 5 ride, he does get tore up. Pretty solid damage here for him. Let's see if we can get another look at it. So for the Monster Energy 35 ride, shoots into the corner, leaves the inside lane open, and just looks like the 8 of Trent Johns just gets in there deep and just drives right through that left rear quarter panel of the 35 ride. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. I mean, if you're going to go to the inside of somebody, you got to clear them to the inside. And the 8 ride just does not do that. Just drives right into that left rear. I mean, you expect to have the car to your inside, use the, 4 or 5 feet to his left and make the corner there. And unfortunately, the 8 ride just kind of missed it. I don't know what was going on there, but nonetheless, I mean, yeah, just kind of missed kind of the whole entry of the corner right there. Gets into the left rear of the 35 ride. Then as both drivers are sideways and losing speed and pace, unfortunately the 5 of Xavier Rogelbrugge gets a piece of the 8 ride of Trent Johns. They both wash up the racetrack here, and all of them are going to end up into the outside fence. Pretty big hit there for all 3 drivers, but then you're going to watch Zay. The car kind of rolls back down the racetrack right here, and as it does, unfortunately, it ends up into the lap here of, I believe it's Stephen Blevins. Right here, Blevins, bam, just gets clipped, and then the 66 ride in there as well. Big hit for Ben Neitz as he drives right through his Fish Speed Brakes teammate there, as both Neitz and the 5 of Zay both end up with some really solid damage here, and they're all going to have to hit pit row. We also saw Jason Bogart also kind of get tied up in this. I think he was trying to avoid all the chaos, and it looks like maybe the 77 comes up the racetrack right here. So he's got a 35 in front of him. He's trying to avoid the 35. Unfortunately, actually, okay, there it is. So he ends up getting a piece still of that 35 car, and as he does get a piece there of Cooper Goodwin, it just helps him shoot down the racetrack into the lap of the Dr. Pepper 77 ride. They make a little contact there as well. They both wash down the speedway into the grass, and both end up making pretty solid contact with the infield fence there as well. So quite a few drivers getting tore up out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can go back again, take another look at it. Let's see if we can jump on board here with the 8 ride. Trent Johns. See if we can see what's going on here through the cockpit. So in behind the 35 ride, chasing them down the front straightaway. Let's see what's going on into the corner here. Here we go. 8 shifts up, big run, building up that speed and momentum, shoots it into the corner, and he's trying to go low of the 35, and then from that point on, it's on like Donkey Kong. Let's play it back here, slow it down a little bit, because you can see him trying to make that turn. Right here, starts to go left, but just kind of misses the entire corner right there, and unfortunately ends up into that 35 ride. Big contact, and then they all start sliding up into the outside fence, and some pretty big hits here for everyone, tied up in it, man. Xavier, Neats, Blevins, all these guys getting pretty tore up out there on the racetrack as we get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to try to get back after it. As we do see Blevins, we see the 35 ride down pit side, the 66, the 17, all spending a little extended period of time down pit road trying to get their cars repaired and trying to get back out there into the battle here. I believe you're going to see Xavier still down pit side as well. Heavy damage here for that 5 ride. Looks like he may end up falling a couple laps down. We'll see when he can get back out there. Ben Neats, looks like Neats is rolling back out onto the racetrack, so great news there for the 66. He'll be able to keep on battling here this evening. I believe did lose a lap out there on the racetrack. Zay still parked down pit side. Heavy damage for him. Heavy damage there for Bogarts as he's now a lap down. Blevins, I believe, has lost a couple laps back here in that 26th position. Cooper Goodwin also a couple laps down. They're in 27th. As you see Bogart's rolling back out there, so Bogart does rejoin the race, but I mean, still really heavy right front damage. See that splitter all bent up and everything else. Gonna be tough to keep that thing planted and rolling out there on the speedway, but nonetheless, he'll be able to keep on rolling, keep on battling here this evening. Now, we did see, I believe, Mike Corvo also get another black flag down pit side. He may have to serve a pass-through penalty here as we go back to green flag racing. As Ronnie Stewart says, is it a curse or is it foresight? I have been watching your streams for a long time, not just wheel to wheel. I mean, there's a lot of leagues that are usually pretty good. A lot of those leagues are really, really good, especially, go back to the Monday Night League races for the Metalheads Truck Series, or you go to the HCK Beagles. I mean, those guys, they'll run 160 laps clean and green, no caution flags at all throughout their entire race. But Thursday nights are hit or miss. Fridays as well. Saturdays can definitely get up there, but they've gotten a lot cleaner over the last few weeks as well, so that's nice to see. But obviously, here tonight, I mean, it's early still. It's early. They can definitely right the ship. Definitely could see things, straighten out. Drivers kind of get a little bit more single file, a little bit more collected out there on the speedway, and maybe not making as big of moves, knowing that there's so many laps left of this race, and you just kind of want to be there, like right there. The 39 ride of Jordan Fisher, you want to keep the second spot. Yes, you want to stay in front of that 34 ride, but at what point is it too much? When you look at Fisher here, yes, you want to stay in second, but you see the 34 take a run, take to the inside, and it's not just one, but it's 2 blocks to keep them back there behind you. That's how you get hooked. That's how you get turned around and a caution flag to come out. So, at some point, you just kind of got to, count your blessings. You see the 34 gets a lick right there. I'm sure Aiden has shown that, hey, I don't appreciate those blocks, and gave him a little shove right there. Luckily enough, 39 able to catch it, keep it rolling there, keep it pointing in the right direction. But, I mean, those are the big decisions. Those are the big things that, can end your day early here at the Speedway. And, I mean, obviously for Fisher, he wants to keep Aiden back there at bay, but, I mean, it's so early in this race. Sometimes it's better just to let him go, not put yourself in that position to where the contact can be made. The opportunity and the possibility of getting turned around right there got a whole lot higher. If he would have just stayed up a little bit higher, maybe through just that one block, didn't keep going down, gave him the inside lane going into corner number 3, yes, he would have lost that spot. You could have battled back. You could have tried to take it back away from him over these laps until the end of this stage, as we still have a lot of laps until the end of stage number 2 here this evening. We're only 9 laps in to stage number 2 here. You have until the completion of lap number 80 to virtually battle your way back around him. I don't see the point in making that move, that block right there. And we've seen that throughout this race from numerous drivers making moves like that. It just kind of baffles me, man. It kind of baffles me a little bit. You can be a whole lot less aggressive. You can be a whole lot more courtesy of the other drivers around you, and just for yourself to, minimize your exposure to potentially getting spun, to potentially getting turned. And I mean, even for Aiden right there, to take that run and to try to make that move not only once but twice. I mean, could have easily rolled out of it, could have maybe not given him a shot into 3, which could have turned him, could have spun him. I mean, same goes for the 34 ride. Easily could have been a little bit less aggressive right there, and could have just kind of bided his time, waited for a better time to strike, and could have avoided potentially what could have been another quick caution flag on the restart. But nonetheless, we're able to keep it going. We're able to keep it green flag racing, and we'll count our blessings here this evening as the 09 of Logan Hamilton able to jump up into position number 4 here on the Speedway. Hamilton looking strong as the Rush Hour Karting number 31. Ryan Joseph Smith rolls there in that 5th position. Jack Bulte's back in 6th. Landon Burbage there in position number 7. And then we do see Austin Thompson. Evan Stewart's worked his way now into 9th. Wyatt Mickelson's there in 10th. Not too long ago, we saw Wyatt get turned, trying to avoid a wreck in front of him. Got up into the outside fence. Fishbomb says, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. I mean, you woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, it's all about just, taking the right right moves at the right time. And obviously sometimes, I mean, if you're good enough, you're fast enough, you can make those moves, be a little bit more aggressive than most others, then obviously you can throw those shots. But for some, obviously, maybe it's better just to kind of sit back a little bit. I mean, it's so early in the race. I just don't understand that, the aggression of some drivers, especially in like the first stage, the first couple laps. I mean, yes, you may lose some positions, but would you rather lose 2 or 3 spots, or would you rather end up in the fence and out of this race? You just gotta, what's the upside? What's the downside? See the big moves again down the front straightaway. For either driver, why put yourself into that position for Colby Wells to throw the blocks, to try to keep Jaden Browder back behind you, and to keep trying to move in and basically put yourself in that position where you can get turned and get taken out here on the 52nd lap of a 160 lap race here this evening. It just seems wild to me. As Sure Holler says, Holler, borderline 11. And yes, the 11th position now for Ryan Holler. I mean, great battle back here, and he's got the 51, his teammate Mickelson, right there in front of him. And it's just sitting inside our top 10. That's where you see Colby Wells and Jaden Browder just behind him. As Ronnie says, these guys looking a lot like the Indy race. The Indy race? Oh no. Oh, no. Oh, there's the yellow flag coming back out. Ben Neat's going to run into some more issues here, as unfortunately, not sure what happened there to Neats. I don't know if there's still damage on the 66 ride, that something might have broke here for him, or he may have gotten a little help here. Logan Perriman in back behind him, down through corner number 4, and it just looks like he loses the rear end, tries to save it. Unfortunately, just overcorrects right there. The thing snap hooks up the racetrack and just up into the outside fence, man. That's a tough hit right there for the 66 Ryan. Just trying to keep Perriman back there at bay, trying to keep himself rolling. Unfortunately, had already fallen, I believe, a lap down. So he was already kind of behind the 8-ball and just trying to keep himself in the battle here. Unfortunately, right here, just kind of lose the rear end. As he does, tries to correct it, tries to straighten it out. His snap hooks back up into the fence. Luckily enough for the den ride of Chess Hamby, obviously avoids him, but man, Chess was really close, not only to getting a piece of him, but then gets sideways there just to avoid him. That was a great save out of the MD Turner Enterprises ride, and luckily enough, as he comes to a stop on the front straightaway, I mean, doesn't look like he gets ran over by anybody, and looks like he avoids any major contact there with either the 66 or with the the inside or outside fence there, or even the pit entry. As let's see if we can play this back, jump on board with this number 66, see what he can see here from the cockpit as they head down into corner number 4 here. And for Neats, looking for a big run. Kind of gets back on the throttle right there. The rear end steps out, and you see how the wheel is turned to the right. Unfortunately, these race cars, I mean, we've seen it so many times that they just kind of, it's almost like they kind of level out. And once they kind of level out, straighten out, like right about there, the car's pointed back at 100% straight. And as it does get back to straight, if that wheel is a little bit to the right or to the left, it'll just snap hook around, and there it is. Snap hooks around. He quickly tries to pull it back to the left, unfortunately. And nothing he could do from that point. Noses it up into the outside fence there. Pretty big hit for him. And then for Chess Hamby, man, this is a big move for Hamby. I don't know how he makes this move so quickly, but kind of sees the car starting to slide sideways. So I believe either he's still on it, but then just kind of lifts, able to get it down into first and lock it down. And that's a great move, or a lucky move, but nonetheless able to keep himself from getting a lot of damage, getting tore up there. So that was a great move nonetheless for that number 10 ride. But unfortunately, that does put us back under the caution flag here this evening. Now, we do see a few drivers hit pit road, including the number 8 ride of Trent Johns, Gary Rose, Chess Hamby, looks like Jason Bogart, Mike Corriveau, Ben Knight's back down pit side. Xavier still down pit road here in that number 5 ride. Stephen Blevins, Cooper Goodwin, Michael Ponder Jr. still rolling out there. Now, Ponder, I mean, he is potentially in line here. I mean, he is about, I don't even know, almost 20 laps down here on the racetrack, 18 laps down, something like that out there on the speedway. But still in line. If we don't see Goodwin, Blevins, or Xavier Rongobrugge roll back out there, could at least pick up a couple more positions out there on the speedway. So that is good news for the Mountain Dew pitch black ride, as he ends up down through the grass there a little bit, able to do a little landscaping, keep on rolling, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here. Another big restart here on the day, and for each and every one of these drivers, we'll get ready to try to keep all these guys back there at bay, as this has been so far a very exciting race, a very interesting race. Our 7th caution flag here early on. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today. Turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go to battle here on Peacemaker Gaming. And honestly, make sure you guys jump in the comment section. Cheer on your favorite driver. Who you cheering for? Who you want to see up and into victory lane? As hopefully we'll see Xavier, a few of those other drivers that have been down pit side for an extended period of time, still down pit road. So it looks like they are still expecting to roll back out onto the racetrack. Still looking to get back into the battle here this evening. But we'll get them all lined up and ready to roll, ready to rumble here once again this evening, as we'll get another quick word in here from our amazing sponsors over at KK Woodscapes. So getting ready to get back to battle here this evening from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, each and every one of these drivers looking and hoping to try to put themselves up and into victory lane. Here this evening is out in front. It is Grant Applegate who continues to lead the charge. Applegate out in front, back there in position number 2 on the inside groove here as Applegate's elected to use the outside lane here for the restart. It is Jordan Fisher there in that second spot on the speedway. But for each and every one of these drivers, they are ready to get back after as they head back down through the restart zone. Green flag back into the air, and for the 3 Fish Speed rides out in front, it's Applegate who gets the best launch. Great jump right there for our race leader, and he's able to clear Jordan Fisher and lead us back down through corner number 1 and 2, as we do see another bit of a move right there as it looked like the 09 of Logan Hamilton came down just across the nose there of that 34 of Aiden Lucas, trying to keep that 34 ride back there at base. It's now all Fish Speed 1, 2, 3, and 4 out there on the speedway. Here comes Jack Buelty, here comes Joseph Smith, door to door down into corner number 3, as we do see Landon Burbage trying to roll the outside around Austin Thompson for that 7th spot on the speedway. Some great racing action here as you do see Burbage up and into 7th. Austin Thompson slides back to 8th as here comes Mickelson. Evan Stewart there in that 10th position as they snake their way down the front straightaway, back down across the line. They complete lap number 58 here this evening. Here comes Evan Stewart, the 45 ride of Kobe Wells, looking to his inside now. There's that 11 ride of Jaden Browder trying to poke his nose right into the mix. You do see the 60 ride of Ryan Haller. If there's going to be a caution flag, it may be somewhere around this area, as I know Haller's been kind of a bit of a magnet here for a couple of these wrecks this afternoon. He seems to find himself right around them here the last little bit. Unfortunately, just really nowhere for him to go, and there we go. We see one driver down the racetrack into the infield. Oh, heavy hit there, tough break for the 8 of Trent Johns. No caution flag as of yet as he is down on the apron here. Now he drives it up onto the racetrack, trying to get this thing turned around. That entire left front tore apart here. Still down low, still on the apron, still just trying to get this thing rolling. There it is. At least gets it pointed back in the right direction. Will rejoin this racing surface, but unfortunately, heavy left front damage here for the Lucas Oil Chevrolet as the 8 machine probably going to have to find pit road here, get some major repairs done to this 8 ride as out in front, Applegate continues to lead the charge here as he'll take us back down the back straightaway and trying to keep himself just in this fresh air, keep that dirty air on the nose of the 39 of Jordan Fisher, trying to keep the Fish back there behind him as teammates and Fish Speed Brakes drivers here this evening duking it out on the racetrack as Hamilton having himself a great run. Another good race here for the 09 ride as normally driven by Jace LaFord. Unfortunately, Jace has missed. I want to say Jace has missed, honestly, the last, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it seems like. Maybe even longer than that. I don't know. It's been a little while since we've seen Jace LaFord out there on the racetrack and battling here in the series. So, not too sure where Mr. LaFort has been, but unfortunately, he's missed out on some great racing action, and he's kind of fallen away from the speedway a little bit, and hopefully doesn't lose his edge, as obviously now, he's picked a great driver. We've seen Hamilton have some great runs, some great performances in that 09 ride. He's had some good runs and tough breaks late in the races, but honestly for Logan, looking to have a good run here this evening and sitting in that 3rd position, showing he's got some good speed here this evening and trying to keep that 34 ride of Aiden Lucas back there at bay, and now it's kind of allowing Jordan Fisher to reel in Applegate here. And for Fisher, we're starting to see some good green flag laps being laid down here in this run. He's getting a few laps to try to get after it, try to go after that number 57 of Applegate as we just completed lap number 61. So 61 laps down, 99 laps left to go here this evening. 99 more laps left to duke it out from Indianapolis Motor Speedway here this evening with the Wheel to Wheel Racing League. It's some great battling, some great racing here this evening. These drivers putting together a wicked show for us here today, man. It's been a ton of fun and some absolutely great racing here. Honestly, a few caution flags, a few tore up race cars, and honestly a few drivers unfortunately down pit side for an extended period of time as you do see Trent Johns down there. We do see Ben Neitz back out there onto the speedway in that Craftfish Speed Breaks number 66 ride. Mike Corvo, looks like Mike has taken his car back down and out of this race, but we do see Xavier Rugglebruggy Zays rejoin the battle as he's back out there onto the speedway, currently rolling in that 25th position as Stephen Blevins. We do see Cooper Goodwin still down pit road. Looks like for Michael Ponder Jr., he's able to get back. He's still rolling out there, man. He's picking up some positions, just actually past both Stephen Blevins and Cooper Goodwin for positions number 27 and 28. So move Ponder Jr. up into 26. So even being, almost, 18 laps down, I mean, still sticking with it, still battling hard here. And for the number 13, I mean, still some positions potentially up for grabs here, especially the way this race has gone. He can still definitely keep on moving forward and putting himself into a couple better positions here and still kind of get away with a good solid run here this evening. But door to door, back down and across the line as Jordan Fisher works to the inside now of Applegate for the top spot. Applegate's trying to hang on to it. Fisher's trying to take it back away from him as door to door down through 1 and 2. Nice and easy here as Fisher gets a little loose, pushes up the track there ever so slightly as they still battle side by side back down the back straightaway and into corner number 3. Now these two are going to have to be careful. If they continue to battle side by side, it may bring in a few more of these drivers into the picture as Hamilton, Lucas, Beauty all chasing them down. But we do see Fisher through 3, able to slide up, clears that 57 of Applegate and jumps back out in front. Now Applegate does scrape the fence right there on corner exit, but it's the 39 ride of Jordan Fisher who now leads the charge once again here at Indy. So Fisher back out in front, Applegate there in second, Logan Hamilton, Aiden Lucas, Jack Beauty are top 5 out there on the racetrack, man. Some great racing, some great performances by each and every one of these drivers, and we're inching closer and closer to the end of our second stage of the day and hitting our halfway mark here in this race. Our halfway point just not too far away, man. Not too far away at all to hit that halfway marker here this evening as, man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. Obviously, we've seen how crazy the first half has been. Will the second half be a lot like it, or will it clean itself up? Will we see a lot more good green flag runs throughout that final stage of the day, knowing that obviously there is no stage breaks, there's no extra points on the line midway through the stage or anything. So, I mean, we could see drivers being a little bit more courtesy of each other out there on the racetrack and compassionate out there on the speedway as well. So, things could get a little bit smoother here over the next little bit. I think for a lot of these drivers, I think they're kind of getting settled in a little bit more. They've ran for an hour and a half now. They're starting to feel the wear and tear. They're realizing, okay, this is a long race, and the more caution laps that we do, the more wear and tear it's going to do on them here. So they kind of sat back a little bit more. They're all a little bit more relaxed back there. But as I say that, I mean, I should just shut up, chat. I should just shut up. Caution flag is back out there. Yellow flag has thrown once again as it looks like Chess Hamby going to run into some issues here in the 10 ride. Let's take a look back at it and see what happens. We had something going there for a little bit. Unfortunately, looks like the 10 ride just going to get loose down at a corner number 1. And for the MD Turner, number 10 machine right here gets loose, tries to save it, starts to go around, slides down on the apron here. And since that's still technically on the racing surface, and on the pit road lane right there, iRacing calls that a caution flag, and the yellow flag will be displayed. And tough break right there is no one really coming from behind him there. We would have loved to see that one stay clean and green, as much as that would have sucked for the MD Turner Enterprises number 10 ride. I mean, would have been nice to see some more green flag laps there, see these guys continue to battle. After during the green flag conditions, not have another restart here late in this stage, but nonetheless, Jess Hamby runs into that problem. Yellow flag does get displayed from iRacing, and that means another restart on the horizon. Luckily enough for Jordan Fisher, had enough time to go to work and get around Grant Applegate, steal that second spot away from that 57 ride, and now it's a game time decision. What do you do here? Is fuel potentially an issue? Do you want to hit pit road, get topped up, maybe make some strategy calls here, set yourself up a little bit nicer for maybe this final stage of the day, or do you just try to keep this track position, try to get those stage points and just stay out here? If you're good on fuel, I think a lot of these guys are more than likely going to stay out. I don't see a lot of these guys wanting to come down pit road here, but just never quite know. You never know. You never quite know with some of these drivers on what their game plan is or what their strategy may be. We've seen Applegate kind of make some really different moves, and here you go. I mean, some drivers faking it, and it looks like Applegate, for the most part, out of our top 10, top 12 drivers, the only one to hit pit road. So Applegate hits pit lane. Obviously going to give up maybe some stage points, but figures, hey, you know what? I'd rather try to hit pit road, make a bit of a different strategy call, set myself up nicely for the final stage of the day. So he hits pit lane, gets fuel, gets tires, getting ready to roll back out on the speedway. We do see Caleb Holloman, Logan Perriman, Evan Stewart down pit side, Lucian Thompson, Chas Hamby, who's looking to obviously get tires or some repairs done to that 10 machine. Gary Rose also back down pit road there, and I believe for Jason Bogarts, Jason does have some pretty solid damage still on the right front of this Zin machine, but for the Flex Seal Ride, the 17 machine of Jason Bogart, looks like he's going to get the wave around. The lucky dog back on a lead lap, so good news there for the 17 ride as he does get a lap back and gets back into the battle here this evening, as he'll be our 21st driver on the lead lap and still rolling out there on the speedway. Now, unfortunately, Trent John still parked down pit side. Ben Neitz looks like he's taking his car off the racetrack and out of this race. Xavier Roggebroggy's back down pit road here. Now, Zay is quite a few laps down. I think he's about 12 laps down out there on the racetrack. But if he gets rolling back out there on the speedway, he would be the only driver potentially a lap down out there on the racetrack. I mean, it's not unheard of that we could see a few more yellow flags here, a few more quick cautions, and no one else losing a lap. I mean, Zay could potentially gain a good chunk of laps back here. So if you're that 5 ride, man, you might better just jump back out there, keep on rolling, get some more wave arounds, get some more laps back, and try to get yourself back into the battle here this evening. I mean, it's a long shot, but it's definitely still a possibility that it could play out into your favor, as we do see Mike Corvo done for the day. Michael Potter Jr., he's going to keep on rolling here. Now he's about 5 laps from potentially passing Zay out there on the racetrack, as he's about 5 laps still behind the number 5 ride as the field rolls by. The 5 machine, it will put him another lap down, so unfortunately for Zay, it'll just make it a little bit more potentially impossible for him to get back into the battle. But we will get everyone ready to roll, ready to rumble here once again, as everyone's getting ready to duke it out, getting ready to get back after it here. Is what will be another fairly short run here potentially. Nice clean racing. It has been pretty nice clean racing. That last stint there was really, really good. These guys did a fantastic job putting together some great laps out there on the racetrack, man. That was a ton of fun to see, ton of fun to watch them kind of go to work out there on the speedway and putting that one together. That was a lot of fun here this evening, as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll, ready to get back after it here this evening, ready to go back at it here in this one, man. Should be a pretty fun day, some pretty fun racing action out there on the speedway, and it'll be really, really fun, really interesting to see what everyone's able to kind of do here in this stage. I feel like this stage is going to be pretty wild. We're going to see some pretty crazy action out there, I think, for a lot of these drivers trying to inch their way forward, trying to put themselves into a winning position out there on the speedway. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to enjoy it, and we're going to have a good time here watching these guys slice and dice out there on the speedway and try to put themselves maybe into the winning position here this evening. As Jordan Fisher, Logan Hamilton, 1 and 2 here for this restart, as Applegate, who was the first tanker down pit side there on lap 67, finds himself restarting about the 14th position here on the speedway. So for Applegate, he's going to have to try to gain quite a few spots, but I mean, those fresh tires may make the difference here. He may be able to race his way through our top 10 and maybe back towards the battle there with Jordan Fisher. But for Fisher, looking for another big restart, another big launch out of that 39 ride, as here he goes. goes back to green flag racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 69 laps completed, 11 laps left to go here in stage number 2. So our second stage of the day quickly coming to a close. Hang on to it. Aiden Lucas sideways. Around goes the 34. Caution flag is back out. Caution flag will fly once again as a quick yellow flag. Luckily enough for Aiden, doesn't look like major contact or damage here for that 34 ride. Looks like just tight racing down and out of corner number 1 here for him. As it just looks like he gets tight with the 67 to Jack, and unfortunately gets a little loose right here. I don't know. Just right there. Gets loose. See that wiggle out of the car. Fortunately, as he goes to try to catch it, loses the rear end, goes around, goes for a slide there, and that's what brings the caution flag back out. So another quick yellow flag here on the day, and another caution for each and every one of these drivers to make another decision. What do you want to do? Do you come back down pit side? Do you get more fuel? Do you take tires here if you're one of those drivers that did not just come down pit lane? It'd be interesting to see, but for some drivers, obviously, that could give you, some points here and some laps back. I mean, if Xavier Rugglebrugge was still rolling on the racetrack, that's what we were talking about. I mean, at the time that we brought that up, I mean, he was only about 11 or 12 laps down. I mean, he would have gotten a lap back right there. I mean, yes, now he's only 11 laps down, but if we see multiple more of those kinds of cautions where on the restarts just 1 or 2 cars kind of go around and no one else loses a lap here, it's definitely not out of pocket that he may be able to gain a lot of those laps back. I mean, just out of this yellow, potentially another yellow, our stage break caution is still just 9 laps away. That it's not out of the idea that you could make 10 laps back out there. I mean, it'll be interesting, but we do see few more fakers. We'll see if there's any takers to hit pit road here again. Doesn't look like it, so we'll wait and see. Obviously, we're going to get another lap here and see if anyone else decides to potentially hit pit lane, but obviously this caution flag coming back out means another break in the race, and for all these drivers, I mean, if anyone was a little tight on fuel, I mean, you're a lot better now with these couple caution flags. If you were tight on fuel during that green flag run, now you should be good. I mean, you should be saving fuel right now and making sure that you are good to go to get past lap number 80 and in towards that lap 82, 83, just in case you got to run a couple of caution laps under yellow, but before being able to hit pit road out there on the racetrack. But lights are back on, the official iRacing pace truck. That means we'll get another opportunity to take a quick little break here. We're just gonna, we're gonna just jump on board here for a few laps. A couple of these drivers, give you guys a look inside these race cars as we'll take a quick drink break, a quick pee break as well. I do have to use the bathroom here real quick, so I'm going to go pee, and we'll be back here in just a couple minutes. So don't go anywhere, because you do not want to miss the racing action and the beating and banging here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we draw into our halfway marker here this evening. About to hit lap 80 here today. Halfway in, halfway to go here this evening, as we'll be right back.
Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, pacemaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the ground stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. Peacemaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the ground stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. Peacemaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. Peacemakers mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. 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 Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, pacemaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the...
Alrighty, we are back and we are ready to rumble once again here from the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As Jordan Fisher, Logan Hamilton, our front row, ready to get back after it, ready to go back to battle here this evening. Is nice and easy. Down the front straightaway, the pace truck will make the hard left-hand turn back down pit side. And as we head in to the restart zone, it's Fisher who gets to fire first. And he gets a good launch, a good jump, slides up, jumps up in front of the 09 right of Hamilton. Is Hamilton trying to block the inside lane. Jack was right there. It was tight down through corner number 1, and now you see the 09 getting a little loose right there. Luckily enough, catches it, but the 67 of Jack Buelty does get his way to the inside of the 09 ride. They'll be door to door for position number 2 as here comes that 31 of Joseph Smith. 3 wide back there behind him. Wells trying to race his way back up towards the front. Austin Thompson, Landon Burbage, Wyatt Mickelson all right there. The 11 ride there as well of Jaden Browder trying to keep on working his way forward as here comes Applegate with those fresher tires working his way down low and back inside our top 10. So still trying to come out of this with some stage points here this evening and trying to maybe flip the script here on the stage, trying to work his way potentially into what could be the race lead here for our restart to start our final stage of the day as we get 6 laps left to go here in stage number 2. 6 more laps to see who can win our second stage of the day as Hamilton does work his way back around the 67 ride, so he's able to hold off the charge there from Jack Buelty. Buelty will stay right there with him though on his back bumper as they'll snake their way down the back straightaway. The 31 of Joseph Smith ready to pounce in with Landon Burbage, who now finds himself up inside our top 5, man. Great run, great battle here for the Princess Towing number 2 machine as he's raced his way all the way back from the rear of the field up to the front of the pack here. Got tied up in a few issues, a couple pieces of contact out there, but for the most part, the 2 ride has been able to stick right in the battle, right in the hunt here at the front, and just trying to keep himself right in the picture here this evening. It looks like he's got a pretty good car. I mean, he could definitely be one of those cats late in this race that could start to make some moves, could put himself potentially into the winner's circle here this evening. But Wells has also looked really, really solid. That 45 ride spent a lot of this race in position number 2, got tied up, got turned around, and unfortunately the 45 had to go to the rear of the field himself and has raced his way back up there. And now here comes Browder, who's been racing his way up towards the front with this 45. They've made a bit of contact a couple times out there on the racetrack. They got time together to bring the caution flag out where we saw the 11 and the 45 go to the rear of the field there. So I feel like the 45 of Wells has not forgiven the 11 ride for that contact as of yet. So we'll see if there's any repercussions late in this race for that move and for the issues that they dealt with there not too long ago. But for right now, they both battle their way back up inside the top 10, trying to race their way back up towards the top 5 as Browder trying to chase down Landon Burbage for that 5th position. Wells able to hold off that 57 of Applegate, but Applegate quickly will looking back down to his inside as we do see Wyatt Mickelson there in 9th. Austin Thompson up inside our top 10. Terrence Murphy's back there in position 11 with Evan Stewart there in 12th. Then we do see Logan Perriman, Aiden Lucas, Ryan Hollers there in 15th. Caleb Holloman back in 16th with Lucian Thompson, Chess Hamby, Jaden Porter, and Gary Cody Rose rounding out our top 20 here on the Speedway. Jason Bogart there in 21st. Michael Ponder Jr. back, I don't even know how many laps here. 17 laps down. Scored in the 22nd position now as he's been able to leapfrog Trent Johns, Ben Neitz, Xavier Ruggelbrugge, Mike Corriveau, Stephen Blevins, and Cooper Goodwin. As unfortunately for our bottom, 6 drivers, looks like their day has come to an early close. So it looks like for Trent Johns, Ben Neitz, Xavier Ruggelbrugge, Mike Corriveau, Stephen Blevins, and Cooper Goodwin all done early here this evening. Heartbreaker for all 6 of those drivers. Obviously for the 13, Ryan Hayes' early issues have him multiple laps down, but able to leapfrog some of those drivers that have called it an early day at the Speedway. And for Jordan Fisher, he's out in front. He's feeling A-okay right now as he takes them back down through corner number 3 and 4 and back down our front straightaway here at Indy as he heads back down across the start-finish line. Will complete lap number 78, and it's 2 laps left to go here in stage number 2. Fisher looking to get the broom out, looking to sweep our stages here this evening as stage 1 looking to win stage number 2 for the Fish Speed Breaks 39. Ryan really needed this comeback race, really needed a bounce back there after a few tough weeks here in the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League, and for the 39 ride, this could be the race that he's been waiting for to kind of get back into the action, back into his winning ways. And for the 39, nice and easy down through 3 and out of corner number 4 here for that 39 ride. He'll head back down to what will be virtually our final lap here of this second stage. So a caution flag at any point in time, no matter what from this point on. The 39 ride will win this stage. As long as he does not run out of fuel or, take himself out of it, man, he should be able to be on cruise control with about 9/10 of a second between himself and his Fish Speed Breaks teammate, the 09 of Logan Hamilton there in second. Should be able to be on cruise control here to pick up his second stage win of the evening. Jack Buelte's back there in third with Joseph Smith in fourth. Landon Burbidge still inside our top 5. Great run there for that number 2 ride as we do see Austin Thompson. Oh, Thompson's around. Caution flag is out. Looks like Holloman's going to get tied up in it. Looks like potentially the 24, Terrence Murphy, also getting some pretty solid damage there as well. Caution flag will come out as let's take a look back at it as I'm not sure if the 23 just gets loose right here. He was running in the 10th position, gets loose, almost in the fence, and then this overcorrects, ends up into the wall right there, and then you see the 24 and the 77. Unfortunately, both drive in there, getting massive contact into that Black Honey Barbershop ride as they just come out of corner number 2. They're not expecting a car to be parked here virtually right in front of them. As they exit the corner, things look, calm. Things look smooth. Everyone's still pointing the right direction. Final lap of the stage. And unfortunately here for Terrence Murphy, not quite the way it's going to play out for him as 23 starts to go around. Then all of a sudden, here he is right in front of him. Nowhere for him to go. Holloman's there as well. Drives through that 23. And, man, big hits right there for a couple of these drivers. Obviously now, heavy damage for the 24, the 77, and for that 23 machine. Let's take a look here. So, he gets into the fence there a little bit himself. But, yeah, really just not something you expect there out of corner number 2, and obviously, final lap of the stage. Everyone inside the top 10 just running single file. Not what you're expecting out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately now, heavy damage here for the 24 ride. You'll have to hit pit road, get extended damage repair done to that 24. I believe we're going to see Austin Thompson. He's already down pit side, trying to get this thing fixed up, trying to get it back into one good working piece. Out there on the speedway, Caleb Holloman, he's still rolling. Holloman's got to have some pretty heavy front-end damage here as well. So we'll see how long these guys may have to stay down pit side here this evening as Bird Dog says, nice job, Jordan. Nice job there. Hey, a stage win there for Jordan Fisher, man. He was going to win it, I think, no matter what. But, caution flag comes out nonetheless. He gets to win the stage as we do see Logan Hamilton, Jack Buelte, Joseph Smith, Landon Burbidge, Jaden Browder, Colby Wells, Grant Applegate, Wyatt Mickelson, and Evan Stewart ended up moving into position number 10 there to at least pick up a stage point. Luckily enough, obviously, for the 23 ride, running into those issues out of core number 2, ended up allowing Evan Stewart to jump up inside the top 10 and earn that stage point there for the Fish Speed 37 ride here this evening. But Jordan Fisher, man, he has been the car to beat here this evening, as down pit side, everyone's trying to make these strategy calls, and we saw Applegate kind of do the same thing during that first stage break where he kind of pitted a little earlier. So as he's down pit road, I want to take a look there at potentially Applegate here for his pit stop, as I believe, yeah, it looks like he goes right sides only. So he didn't need as much fuel, pitting a little bit earlier than everybody else. And obviously just going to play a little strategy here. Goes right sides only here. He goes for the 2-tire stop. The crew is able to quickly get that service done, get him topped up on fuel. So it's a very, very quick pit stop here for the number 57. And Applegate is able to win the race off of pit road here, and that's a big move there for him as he wins this race out of pit road, as Fisher's just getting jacked up there, getting left sides put on, and then you do see, looks like Lucas beats him out of the pits as well right there, and Fisher slow rolling back out right there. I don't even know where exactly that would put him, but he gets stopped there on the racetrack, so I'm not sure what the Fish is doing, but the Fear the Fish ride, I mean, just kind of stops there on pit exit and lets everyone go by right there. Okay, this is interesting. Not sure why Jordan Fisher would do that, but he is going to reel towards the back of the pack here. We'll see kind of what's going on with that 39 ride. Is out in front, that 57 of Grant Applegate will get ready for a big restart, trying to hold all these drivers off, trying to keep himself out in front and ready to rock and roll once again for another big restart here at Indy. As Ronnie Stewart says, let's go. Fish Speed, fear the fish, he says. Fear the fish. Absolutely, fear the fish. And Fish Speed, man, looking very strong again here this evening, as Fish Mom says, congrats, Jordan. Congrats there to that 39 ride of Jordan Fisher. As looks like Fisher, I don't know if he got an EOL or if he just wants to hang back here a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on here with the 39 ride. Maybe he had to use the bathroom. Maybe he's got a kid or a spouse, somebody in the cockpit rolling for him right now, just trying to keep this thing pointing the right direction, as they had to do the driver swap and use the bathroom there potentially for that 39 ride. I'm not sure what the ordeal is, but obviously he's fallen to the back of the pack, and it's like he's going to restart back in the 18th position. I don't know why he would have. He didn't get a black flag down pit road. Unless this is just a strategy call. Maybe it's something he wanted to do for fun. Yeah, I don't see any EOLs or anything else there for that car, so that's an interesting one right there. I'm not too sure what that call was for Jordan Fisher, but nonetheless, I mean, we'll get him ready to get back after it. I mean, if anyone's got some inside information there on what the strategy call was for that 39 ride, I don't know why he had to go to the back of the pack for this restart, but nonetheless, he will join the rear of the field and get ready to get rolling here once again, ready to get back into the battle out there on the speedway. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve, see what he can do here this evening, and see if he can try to battle his way right back to the front of the pack here today, man. Is so far it's been all Fisher and all Fish Speed out there on the speedway. We'll see if he can try to get back up there. As here we go down through the Geico restart zone. Applegate, great launch, great restart right there, trying to hold off that number 34 of Aiden Lucas. You see Logan Hamilton quickly working to the inside there of that GOAT Racing diecast number 34 machine, and quickly trying to work his way right back up and into position number 2 here on the racetrack, and he is able to do just that at a corner number 2. Clears that number 34 ride and move Logan Hamilton back up into second. Looks like Hamilton's trying to get right back after that number 57 of Applegate as well, looking to try to chase down Applegate, hoping to try to maybe work his way around that number 57 ride as he was putting the pressure right to him, but just could not quite make that move. But each and every one of these drivers, man, putting together a heck of a run, heck of a drive out there on the speedway, man. These guys putting together a great race, great performance for each and every single one of us here this evening, as all these drivers, man, great race, great battle in here today, man. These guys been doing everything that they can to put together a great race and a great show, and so far it's been a pretty good one for everyone to enjoy here this evening, as Applegate out in front. Drivers everywhere trying to chase him down as you see Aiden Lucas make the big move down to the inside, seeing if he can try to maybe navigate his way around that number 09 machine. Just couldn't quite get there, but nonetheless, they'll keep on battling. They'll keep on digging here on the speedway, as each and every one of them making some more big moves out there on the racetrack. As and these guys putting together some good work here again, man. Another good restart. Another good launch for all these drivers. And again, we kind of get back into a little bit more of single file battling and a little cleaner racing out there. So obviously for a lot of these drivers, I think they realize, okay, we're a couple hours into this race. We're just at that halfway marker. Let's kind of, draw it in a little bit. Let's get some laps down. Let's click off some laps here in quick concession. And I think that's kind of what a lot of these drivers are getting to, as Applegate, Hamilton, Lucas, 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway. Jack Bulte's back and forth. Wells is there in 5th. Jaden Browder, Landon Burbage, Wyatt Mickelson, Evan Stewart, and Joseph Smith round out our top 10. You look a little farther back there. There's that Fish Speed Brakes, number 39, rider Jordan Fisher in the 14th position, trying to keep on racing his way back up towards the front of the field, as Holloman does scrape the outside fence there at a corner number 4. But for Fisher, gaining a few more spots here on that restart, trying to chase his way back to the front of the field. If we get another caution flag or something, we'll try to get up into the him up into the booth here, see if we can get a little in-race interview with that 39 ride, see what the call was there, if that was a racing incident, if that was an admin decision, or if that was maybe his decision to go to the rear of the field and maybe just have some more fun trying to chase his way through the pack and trying to race his way up to the front of the pack here before the end of this race. So it'll be interesting to see if our stage 1, stage 2 winner can drive his way up there and into the battle here again for the race win. But for right now, it is one of his teammates, the Fish Speed Brakes number 57 ride of Applegate, who continues to lead the charge as they head back down the rear or front straightaway here and across the line. They complete lap number 87 here this evening. So 87 laps complete. I believe 73 laps left to go here in this race. So just a little past our halfway mark here this evening, as we'll jump into a quick Uncle Rodney Crank It Up. Shout out to Uncle Rodney, as he is our presenter of the Crank It Up here this evening. So huge shout out there to Uncle Rodney as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. And let's get some hashtag Rodneys in the chat right now. Hashtag Rodney in the chat for Uncle Rodney, always coming in, showing the love and support here, and being our presenter of the Crank It Up here on our Wheel to Wheel Racing League events. Uh-oh, chat. Uh-oh. I don't know what's happened. Uh-oh. What in the world? Packet loss. Packet loss. What in the world, chat? Hopefully we're still here. Hopefully we're still here. Hopefully it's still good. Okay, I hear the cars rolling. I think we're still in it. I just don't know. Okay, there we go. All right, we're good. We're good. What in the world, Internet? Stick with us. Stick with us. What in the world was that? Caution flag here during our Uncle Rodney cranking up session here this evening as we'll take a look back, see what happened, as I believe we will see the 77 here at Caleb Poloman. Not sure if he gets a little helping hand here or if he just loses the rear end. We'll take a look back at it, break it down, see what happens here to this 77 ride, as unfortunately here down and out of corner number 3. Looks like he just gets loose here. I'm not sure if he loses this by himself. It kind of looks like the rear end steps out on him. He tries to save it, still trying to save it. Unfortunately, still sliding sideways. And as he kind of rolls back up onto the racing surface here, gets absolutely cleaned out by the 61 right, Lucian Thompson. Unfortunately, they're heavy hit for both drivers. Both cats get tore up. So Lucian's a little farther back here. Let's see if we can jump on board with this 61 right. See what he can see, because right here it looks like the A pillar kind of blocks it, the A-frame right there. But here he sees the car going around, washing off the racetrack. He goes to the high side and fortunately just doesn't get checked up quick enough and doesn't get to move out of the way here. And unfortunately, just tough hit here for him. I mean, right here he sees the car going back up the racetrack, but I feel like he expects him to maybe get onto the binders, keep it down low, and not keep washing up. And he just keeps coming up, and now he's thinking, okay, I got to go to the inside. And then, unfortunately, he's carrying too much speed, too much momentum to get cut down underneath the 77 and ends up driving right on through him. Big hit there, and unfortunately, tough break for both drivers there. I mean, for Caleb, as much as that car was sideways and going around right there, man, it looked like he had that thing saved. Looked like it was going to be A-okay, and things were going to be, all right for him here. And then they weren't. Right there. Bam! Huge hit to both drivers. See that entire right front just absolutely tore apart. The entire front end of the 61 destroyed there on the speedway as well. And unfortunately for both drivers, that's going to be an extended period of time down pit side trying to get that thing fixed up and back out there onto the racetrack and back into the battle here this evening as well. We'll visit the Crank It Up here again in a little bit. We'll get a few more laps in, see the great racing there. That was a good green flag run again. I mean, we keep having these little blimps of what could be a really good, solid green flag run out there on the speedway. Potentially, maybe starting to see, maybe green flag pit stops, just off of the horizon. That possibility of potentially seeing drivers have to make green flag stops here this afternoon. But unfortunately, those, single car spins or, two cars getting tied together, something usually tends to pop up. And unfortunately, we see those yellow flags fly. And for these drivers, I'm sure they're, they probably don't want to see them, but at the same point in time, they probably do want to see them because that allows them to kind of get a little bit of a break in, get a little bit of breather themselves, maybe a drink, and kind of relax for a couple laps prior to going back to green flag racing. And then at the same point in time, they also don't have to stress about making those green flag pit stops. As Uncle Ronnie says, loving the logo, by the way. Absolutely, brother. Logo is looking fresh up there for the Crank It Up presented by Uncle Rodney as we get them all ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to green flag racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in here this evening and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a quick favor. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button here on the broadcast. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today as we get ready to go back to battle here at the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As out in front, it is still that 57 of Grant Applegate. Looks like he's going to choose the outside lane for this restart, so he'll give the inside there to Aiden Lucas. Lucas will be looking for a big launch right here, hoping that Jaden Browner can stick with him, try to push him and stay door to door down to the corner number 1 with this 57 right of Applegate here, as Aiden's been right there. He's been right there on the doorstep trying to lead some laps here this evening, just hasn't quite been able to get there, and unfortunately just been kind of mired back in that second, third, fourth position for a lot of this race, as He'll get another chance, another opportunity at it right here. Kobe Wells back up inside our top four as he'll restart there in fourth. Browder on the inside of that second row as he's starting there in third, man. Browder's looked really, really good here today as well, and we've seen Browder in the 45 right R to make contact, run into their own issue out there on the speedway, and unfortunately fall back deeper in the field. So we'll see if there's a little... payback, retributions, maybe a little amnesty there between the two of those guys still brewing after their earlier incident here this evening. But for Browder and Wells, they'll look to see if they can stay a little cordial here for the next little bit, especially for this restart, as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll. Back behind them, though, you do see Logan Hamilton there in fifth, and Jordan Fisher back into that sixth position, trying to race his way back up through the field as the 39 ride rolls there in that sixth spot on the speedway. The 31 of Joseph Smith in seventh with Jack Bulty, Landon Burbage, and Wyatt Mickelson. Our top 10 here on the speedway as the official iRacing base truck makes that hard left-hand turn back down pit side, and here we go back to green flag racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the 57 of Applegate gets the launch he was looking for, the drive he needed there in that outside lane. And for Wells, he gets it as well as he's able to slide down, clears that 34 of Aiden Lucas. Now Aiden door to door with that 39 of Jordan Fisher, as Fisher looking to try to battle his way quickly right back into the hunt here at the front as he's trying to still make that move around Aiden Lucas for position number 3, but Applegate trying to keep Wells back at bay. He knows Fisher's right there as well. Fisher has been probably one of the only cars that have been able to chase him down and pass him, but I mean, Lucas is not wanting to give up that third spot to make a little contact there at a corner number 3. That did give a little bit of right front damage to that 39 ride of Jordan Fisher, but a little damage there as well to the 34 is Aiden Lucas. I mean, they made some pretty solid contact. They both bounced to kind of off the fence together, and unfortunately, pretty good damage for both of them, but they're hanging tough here. We'll see if that affects their rides, maybe, hurts their chances here this evening or slows them down any little bit out there on the racetracks. We do see Jaden Browder has been able to work his way after that contact up into that fourth position. Aiden's now back into fifth as Logan Hamilton there in sixth. We do see Joseph Smith in seventh with Landon Burbage there in eighth. Wyatt Mickelson, Jack Bulty there rounding out our top 10. Evan Stewart just on the outside of the top 10 looking in. There in 11th with Logan Perrin, Chess Hamby, Ryan Haller, and Jaden Porter rounding out our top 15 here on the Speedway. Gary Rose is there in 16th with Lucian Thompson back in 17th. Now for Lucian, he's still on the lead lap, but man, still has a ton of front end damage here on this 61 machine. Somehow or another, it's still rolling. He hasn't given up as of yet and looking to keep on battling here this evening. For Jason Bogart, he's unfortunately fallen a couple laps down here. So for the 17 machine, he's hoping that he can potentially try to get another caution flag or two, try to get a couple wave around, try to get himself back on the lead lap and back into the battle here this evening as well. Caleb Hallman still down pit road here. Heavy repairs being done to that 77 ride. Austin Thompson has rejoined this race. He's back out there. Unfortunately for Austin, he is about 10 laps down, but still just trying to have some fun here this evening. Michael Ponder Jr. multiple laps down back there in the 21st position. Unfortunately for Terrence Murphy, Trent Johns, Ben Knights, and then I do believe Xavier Rugglebruggy, Stephen Blevins, Cooper Goodwin round out our field. We do see one other driver that's rejoined this race here. It is the 97 of Mike Corriveau. Corriveau has jumped back in here. It's been a little while since we've seen Mike out there on the racetrack as he currently sits 55 laps into this race and virtually about 50 laps, 51 laps down out there on the speedway, maybe about to be 52 laps down out there on the racetrack. So for the 97 rider rejoining this race, but being a lot of laps down out there on the speedway, but there is a possibility that he can gain a few more spots here throughout this race. I mean, in the next 3 laps, he could potentially leapfrog Ben Neitz and Trent Johns for position 24 and 23. I mean, those could be very valuable points that could potentially propel him a little farther here in the point standings. Terrence Murphy also still within striking distance. Obviously going to need to get some good green laps here out of the 97 ride, but if he can keep on battling here until that checkered flag, could definitely jump up, leapfrog. Trent Johns could leapfrog Terrence Murphy. Unfortunately, Michael Potter Jr. and Austin Thompson are still rolling. I mean, that'd be 45 laps. He should be able to leapfrog Caleb Holloman if Holloman doesn't rejoin this race, or at least in the next 45 laps doesn't rejoin this race. Holloman could definitely be another position on the line there for Corvo as well. So definitely still some more positions up for grabs here, and just try to salvage something out of the day and turn what was a very bad day into what could still at least be a decently mediocre day. I mean, maybe not the best, but not the worst day points-wise, as you can still jump out there and snag a few extra points to put into your back pocket. As Applegate, though, out in front, he's hoping to try to keep that 39 right of Jordan Fisher back there at base. Fisher has worked his way right back up into second, and if anyone's going to fear the fish right now, it'll be that 57 of Applegate, even though they're Fish Speed Brakes teammates. I mean, Fisher's a tough cookie to crack, man. He's definitely a tough driver to kind of keep back there behind you, keep him at bay. And I think for Applegate, man, he's going to have to give it everything he's got. And he's got to be virtually perfect out there on the speedway to try to keep that 39 right back there at base. Fisher just shown that, man, he's hooked up here this evening. He's been the car to beat all night long and hoping to try to race his way right back into the race lead here late in this one and trying to put himself up and into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway victory lane as Kobe Wells there in third. Jaden Browder back in fourth, Aiden Lucas in fifth. Joseph Smith in that sixth position with Wyatt Mickelson up into seventh. Landon Burbage has fallen back into eighth. Jack Bulty's there in ninth, and Evan Stewart rounding out our top 10 now, as unfortunately Logan Hamilton has fallen back into the 11th spot on the speedway. Logan Perriman's there in 12th with Ryan Haller, Chance Hamby, Jaden Porter's there in 15th, Gary Rose back in 16th, Lucian Thompson still half destroyed in that Napa Auto Parts 61, open for a couple quick caution flags where he could try to get down pit side, try to get this thing repaired under yellow, and try to at least get himself back into somewhat of the battle here this evening. Unfortunately, this has not quite played out that way for the number 61 machine. So he'll be looking for some more cautions here, over to get himself back into the battle, as you do see our race leaders go around the 97 right of Mike Corvo there. That'll put him another lap down out there on the racetrack. But for Applegate and for Jordan Fisher, they sit 1 and 2 on the speedway. Corvo down the racetrack onto the apron right there. Luckily enough, able to hang on to it, keep it pointing in the right direction. But allowing some of our lead lap drivers here in our top 10 competitors to kind of work their way around him. But now he goes from the bottom of the apron up to the top shelf, up to the outside fence. It's going to get tight off corner number 4 right here for, Landon Burbage. Oh, man, is the 97 just trying to keep himself out of the way, but, I mean, it's just a lot more chaotic. I mean, being this much slower, I mean, he's going to get ran over. I mean, tight call right there. Logan Perriman almost got a piece of him here. So I think for the Marlboro ride, I mean, you got to pick it up. You got to run a little bit out of the way, but not that much to where, you know, you're losing so much speed, so much momentum that these drivers may not expect how much slower you are than they are coming out of these corners, and potentially, looping you around, bringing out another yellow flag here with a driver that's, 55 plus laps down out there on the racetrack. So tough spot there to be if you are Mike Corvo, but he's trying to stick with this, still trying to have some fun here this evening, and hopefully, he's enjoying his time. Maybe he can find something out. Maybe he can learn a little extra, or just get that extra seat time here in that Marlboro 50 or 97 ride, and hope that he can put some stuff in the memory bank here, trying to keep it in the back of his mind for the next time we head to Indianapolis here in the series or in any of his other leagues, to try to put himself, into a better position out there on the racetrack. As Andrew Sue says, fear the fish, as out in front, it's Grant Applegate, though. He's still hanging on to this race lead, but man, oh man, it's not by a very large margin anymore, as that 39 rider Jordan Fisher is right there, right on his back bumper, ready to bounce, ready to try to steal this race lead back away from him if they get battling here for this top spot. Kobe Wells not too far away as well. He'd like to poke his nose into that battle, as we're only about 10 laps since we went back to green flag racing, but another solid green flag run, a good restart here for all these drivers. You see Applegate getting a little bit loose right there. That's going to kill a little bit of his momentum down to the inside, to the outside for Jordan Fisher, hoping to take that run, hoping to try to get in front of the 57 or at least side draft with him. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get there, and Fisher unfortunately could not make the move, could not get around that 57 ride as Fisher doing everything he can, trying to work his way around Applegate, trying to jump back up into the race lead. Wells sees them battling. He wants to jump into the fun here. Browder's not too far away. They're in that fourth position. Aiden Luke is back there in fifth. Would love to jump right back into the hunt here at the front. And for a lot of these drivers, I mean, now it's going to get into that game time decisions. I mean, seeing some good green flag laps being laid down right here. It is not without reasonable doubt. We've seen these guys do it in the past where, we see a lot of yellows. We see a lot of chaos throughout the, first, 60% of the race. And then all of a sudden, things just kind of get a lot cleaner. Things kind of get a little bit more spread out. Drivers find a lot more room out there on the racetrack. And then we see these good long green flag runs being laid down. And we could see these guys go clean and green to the checkered flag here this evening. And if that's the case, I mean, for each and every one of these competitors, I mean, you still have, about 46 laps left to go here in this race. I mean, fuel mileage is going to play a factor here in it, but I think for each and every one of them, it's all about the game plan and when you want to hit pit road. We could see a few drivers maybe make the call to pit a little early, come down pit side, try to time it out right, where maybe you pit, 5 laps, 8 laps prior to the race leaders, where maybe you get that extra time with those fresh tires. You're able to run really, really good laps and leapfrog the drivers in front of you, where that puts you into, maybe the race lead for a bit. Maybe you're able to use the dirty air to keep them back there behind you and back at bay. That could be potentially the winning move here this evening, or maybe just waiting a little bit longer, trying to run it long, making sure that they come down pit road. Maybe they burn off their tires over a, extra 5-10 lap run to where you can come down pit road, make it back all the time you gave up, plus some, and try to hunt these guys down late in this race to try to work yourself up and into victory lane. So there's going to be a couple different strategies here throughout green flag pit stops. If we can get to that point, we're still a little ways away here. I think for each and every one of these drivers, I mean, you kind of want to split this run, I think. I think we'll see pretty much everyone hit pit road somewhere around lap number 130, somewhere around that marker. Maybe a little bit later, maybe a little bit sooner. All depends on how far this fuel can go and how far they need to run in that final stint here as well, because you don't want to be, too short. If you come down pit road, you don't put enough fuel into it, then you're going to make an additional pit stop anyways, or potentially we go to NASCAR overtime. You want to kind of plan for that, have that extra little bit of fuel in the tank in case if we do go to 1 or 2, maybe even 3 NASCAR overtimes here this evening, and trying to keep yourself, very much in that battle the whole time, not having to make a trip down pit road and giving up a ton of track position. So for a lot of these drivers, we'll have to wait and see what the call is going to be. But for Applegate right now, the call is just try to keep your foot to the floor and keep that 39 ride back there at base. It's all fish speed here, 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway as they navigate back down across the line. They'll complete lap 117 here this evening. So 117 laps down now as Applegate continues to lead the charge. Fisher right there with them in position number 2. He saw Applegate get a little sideways there down out of corner number 1, and that kind of opened up the door there for Fisher to get a good run, draw quicker back to his back bumper, and now down the back straightaway again. Just seems like that 57, the rear end keeps sliding out on him here. Looks like the tires are starting to fade away for Applegate, and Fisher now jumps to the outside. Big run right here. They're door to door. It's going to be tight as the 57s push up the track a couple corners. It's a dangerous spot to be if you're the 39 rider Jordan Fisher, but trying to complete this pass and trying to steal that top spot back away from Applegate, and he's able to do it. It is Jordan Fisher back out in front. He'll consume the race lead once again, and unfortunately for Applegate, he'll have to go from trying to play a little defense and now trying to play a little bit of offense, but I don't know how much his tires are still holding on here as he just trying to keep that thing underneath of him, trying to keep himself out in front as Fear the Fish here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jordan Fisher back out in front, leading the charge. Applegate there in second. And then we do see Colby Wells in position number 3. We see Jaden Browder and Aiden Lucas, our top 5 out there on the racetrack. A little farther back, Joseph Smith rolls there in position number 6. Wyatt Mickelson, Landon Burbage in 7th and 8th. And then Jack Bulte and Logan Hamilton now running at our top 10. So Hamilton has raced his way back up and into that 10th position, working his way back around that 37 of Evan Stewart. Then a little bit of a gap back. We do see Logan Perriman there in 12th, Ryan Haller in that 13th spot on the Speedway. Then a big gap back to our 14th place driver, Chess Hamby. Another gap to Jaden Porter and the 22 of Gary Rose. Unfortunately here, I do believe Lucian Thompson has taken his car down pit road, getting, some pretty solid repairs done to that number 61 machine. Obviously getting a lot of work done to that race car, and he may be down pit road here for a very extended period of time here this evening as the 61's down pit road. It does move Jason Bogart into the free pass position here. He's the first car one or multiple laps down out there on the racetrack. If we do see a couple caution flags, could potentially get that free pass back on the lead lap and back into the battle here this evening as Bird Dog says, Yahoo! Nice moves, Jordan. He says, nice moves, as Andrew Seuss says, now that was awesome. Nice and clean, exactly the way you gotta do it. Just good, hard racing, good battling there, and a great pass, especially using the outside lane here at Indy to complete that pass, just showing how much stronger this 39 car is out there on the Speedway, especially throughout the longer run, as Applegate, battled as hard as he could for as long as he could, like we saw a little earlier. And unfortunately for Applegate, same issue, same thing kind of happens where he kind of fades away here over the longer run, and Fisher's able to take advantage of it, work his way back around him, and take that race lead, and now try to set off into the sunset here this evening as 120 laps have been completed. This time by it'll be 121, so we are officially just past 75% of the way through this race. 75% of this race is now into the history books. Into the history books here for 75% of it. Man, we only got 25% left of this race left to go. Virtually 40 laps left to duke it out here this evening, biding NASCAR overtime. Hopefully we don't see any or not a lot of NASCAR overtime here this evening, but for Jordan Fisher, he's hoping that it just stays clean and green. He's got a great car. He's pulling away from Applegate, and I'm sure he'd love to see this stay clean and green, but it's all about potentially these green flag pit stops, man. There could be some green flag stops on the horizon for these drivers, and that's where things can get really, really interesting. Things can get really, really tough and wild in a quick hurry. This is a pit road that we have seen quite a few drivers earn black flags, have penalties down pit side, and here tonight we haven't even seen green flag pit stops, so we're not too sure if these guys are, well versed at it. Maybe they got some practice, hitting pit road during the hour-long practice prior to this race. But, it's been a while since they were doing those practice sessions. They've been running for, 2.5 hours since the drop of this green flag. So, for each and every one of them, pit road could definitely wreak some havoc here for all these cats out there on the racetrack, and that could make things really, really interesting late in this race. It could cost you a race, or it could win you a race down pit road. So it'll be interesting to see what the strategy is here. I think for a lot of these drivers, still trying to get to that number. I think probably right around that 130 mark is going to be the number for each and every one of these drivers to hit pit road to make a pit stop here this evening. But for some of them, I mean, is it worth the strategy call? Is it worth the call to maybe hit pit road a little bit earlier, as we do see Jaden Browder trying to work his way now around that 45 of Colby Wells. Wells trying to hang on to position number 3, but it does look like the Pretzel M&M's number 11 ride of Jaden Browder will jump up and into that 3rd position. Aiden Lucas trying to move with him here into position number 4, as Aiden does jump up into that 4th spot here on the Speedway. Wells unfortunately falls back into position number 5 out there on the racetrack. And now for Fisher and Applegate, I mean, they still have a pretty solid gap here. It's about 1.4 seconds between Browder to Applegate. It's about 2.4 seconds to our race leader, Jordan Fisher here. So Fisher has a pretty sizable lead over that 3rd place battle. And for right now, I mean, he's just trying to hit his marks, not wanting to make any mistakes, trying to make sure he keeps Applegate back there at bay here on the Speedway. Browder, though, able to jump up in the 3rd. Lucas there in 4th. Wells unfortunately falls back into 5th, as here comes that 31 of Joseph Smith, the 2 of Landon Burbage, as Burbage back up and into 7th here. Logan Hamilton back into 8th, as Wyatt Mickelson falls into that 9th spot on the Speedway. The 37 of Evan Stewart looking to try to race his way up through the top 10, as he's back into that 10th position, seeing if he can make the move, maybe get around this 51 of Wyatt Mickelson. That 09 of Logan Hamilton's right there within striking distance, as unfortunately Jack Buelty did fall outside the top 10, again back into the 11th spot here on the racetrack. Logan Perriman's there in 12th. Ryan Haller's back there in that 13th position, but still right there within striking distance if things start to get a little bit crazy here. Our top 13 all still within 10 seconds of our race leader out there on the Speedway. Now it's been another 9 seconds back between Haller in 13th and our 14th place driver, Chess Hamby. So there is a huge gap there between 13th to 14th as Hamby rolls there in that 14th spot here on the Speedway. A little farther back, you do see Gary Rose and Jaden Porter there battling back here in position number 15 and 16 out there on the racetrack. Is Porter driving a different car here? Is that the Jaden Media machine? Let's take another look at this race car here. Sang's Media? What does that say? I see an S-A. Is that a G or a Y? An S. I don't know if I can pronounce that or not, but nonetheless, a beautiful new looking ride, beautiful new looking car here for the AG's Designs, and number 74 ride of Mr. Jaden Porter, another fellow Canadian out there on the racetrack. So great to see Jaden rolling out there on the Speedway, looking to have himself a great day and a good run here this evening as the 74 machine back in the 16th position. I mean, it's not a bad finish. I mean, it's middle of the field here, but I mean, he's had a pretty clean race. Hasn't really had too many issues, and that car is not tore up, parked down pit side or multiple laps down, so he's hanging tough. Same with Gary Rose. Now, Rose did get tied up in a few wrecks out there on the racetrack, has gotten this 22 ride fixed up back into one piece. He's been on the lead lap here, and now inside the top 15 for that 22 ride is him and Jaden Porter continue to battle back here for that 15th and 16th spot on the Speedway. Great racing there, a little deeper in the field for those two, but out in front, it's all Jordan Fisher as Fisher continues to lead the way. Jordan out in front. It's now a gap of about 1.4 seconds between himself and Applegate. So he's pulling farther and farther away from that number 57 ride, but we do see Aiden Lucas has navigated his way back around the 11 ride of Jaden Browder. So Lucas has now made the moves around both Browder and Wells to jump up into third. And now here we go, Applegate down pit road. Here comes Colby Wells as well. Wells locks it up a little bit right there, trying to get down to pit road speed. Here comes Evan Stewart getting in there hot. Oh no, heartbreaker. It's exactly what we talked about. Pit road speed. And unfortunately, for Evan Stewart, caught speeding down pit road here. Unfortunately, too fast entering pit lane for that number 37 ride, and for Evan Stewart, he will get a hold down pit road here. So the crew will go to work. They'll complete the service on this 37 machine. He will get probably a 40 to 45 second hold down pit road here. And unfortunately, that's going to put him into a tough spot. Actually, looks like he takes the car right out of the race. Jaden Porter may have just exited this race. Or not Jaden Porter, Evan Stewart. Stewart may be done here this evening. We'll have to keep a close eye on it as here we go. A lot more drivers hit pit side. Here comes Fisher, Landon Burbage, Wyatt Mickelson. Logan Perriman's down pit side. The 67 of Jack Bulte, Ryan Haller's down pit road. All 6 of these drivers that hit pit road clean into pit lane here. No pit road speeding penalties out of those 6 drivers. Great pit stops there for them. And luckily enough, they'll all get an opportunity to keep on battling, to keep duking it out here in this one. And luckily enough, no black flags down pit road to put them into a tough position late in this race. So they make their stops. Looks like Fisher able to get down there, get the service that he needed, rolls right back out in a quick hurry as they make this pit stop here on lap 129. For a few other drivers, looks like they may go a little bit farther here, as you do see Aiden Lucas is going to stay out, Jaden Browder is going to stay out, so they're going to run a little bit longer here, but a few more drivers kind of hitting that lap 130 marker here, as here comes Logan Hamilton, Joseph Smith. They're both good down pit road here. No black flags there for the 09 or the 31 machine, so good pit stops there. Still waiting for Aiden Lucas, Jaden Browder, Jess Hamby yet to hit pit road in that number 10 ride, as we do see Gary Rose now down pit lane. Same with Jaden Porter. They get down to pit road speed here, and they make their potential final pit stop of this race. So we're waiting on 3 drivers hit pit lane here. Aiden Lucas, Jaden Browder, Jess Hamby, all the hit pit road still out on the speedway. Now Jordan Fisher is still out in front. He still has the top spot, as he's got about 0.6 of a second between himself and Wells. Wells was able to get a good enough stop in there that he leapfrogs Grant Applegate. Applegate would be into the 3rd position here on the speedway. Wells, man, a really good stop. I don't know if he took 2 tires only right there, or what the call may have been out of that 45 ride, but he made up a lot of ground and able to jump up into 2nd here. We'll see if he's able to hold off the 57 of Applegate, maybe go after Jordan Fisher for this race lead. But as of right now, Aiden Lucas, Jaden Browder, Jess Hamby still yet to hit pit road here. So they're trying to play it out a little bit longer, hoping that the tires fall off a little bit more for those other competitors. Hope that they kind of, start to feel the heat a little bit, try to see those tires fade away, where late in this race they can have the run, they can have that speed to be able to jump up, make the moves that they need to make, and potentially try to put themselves up and into the winning position. As you do see for Aiden Lucas right now, he does have a lot of these drivers trapped the laps down. Smith is now working to his inside, trying to make the move around him. So Smith, our 7th place driver, does get back on a lead lap. Now Landon Burbage is scored in position number 8. He's the first driver 1 lap down. He's in the free pass position, but he wants to work his way back on the lead lap, so he's looking to try to find his way around this 34 ride of Aiden Lucas. Unfortunately, could not get the run he needed there down the back straightaway, but you do see, obviously, the 09 ride of Logan Hamilton's right there as well, right in that battle. Wyatt Mickelson's gotten around Jaden Browder, now looking to join that hunt there as well, trying to race his way back on the lead lap. So things are definitely tight here between our race leaders. And oh, there we go! The 67's around. Jack Bulte goes for a slide. Oh man, this is gonna be interesting. All right, I think that was maybe the game plan for Lucas Browder, Jess Hamby, but I mean, it may work out into their favor. It may hurt them here this evening, but I think for the most part, it should play out kind of nicely for them, as there is only, I believe, Landon Burbage was back in front of our race leader there, so he'll be in the 8th position. Last driver on the lead lap, Logan Hamilton, first car 1 lap down. He'll have to take a wave around here, the lucky dog, actually, to get back on the lead lap. Mickelson, Haller, Logan Perriman, Jack Bulte, who went around to bring that caution flag out. They're in 13th. You'll need a wave. So won't Gary Rose and Jaden Porter to get themselves back on the lead lap here this evening. But, I mean, they'll have, I don't even know. I mean, that's only going to be, 4 or 5 lap fresher tires than Jordan Fisher and Kobe Wells, Applegate. I mean, it's not really a huge advantage, I feel, for like Lucas and Browder, Hamby. I feel like they wanted to keep on going for at least another, 4 or 5 laps, maybe 6 laps, get kind of, 10 lap better tires or something than those race leaders prior to this caution flag coming out. But, it does fly, and now here they come down pit road. So for the 34 of Lucas, Browder, Chess Hamby, they hit pit lane. We should see Fisher, Applegate, all these guys stay out a little longer here, not hit pit road, and get ready for another big restart here this evening. And could be a crazy one. Fresher tires to older tires, and late in this race, and all the craziness as we do see Jack Buelty now gets a black flag entering pit road here as well. So let's take a look back, see what happens to this 67 ride, as I believe maybe you just lose the rear end here. New tires, cold tires, unfortunately just haven't built up that heat, and unfortunately goes around right there. Big move there out of Ryan Haller to avoid contact. Close to one again there for Haller, as almost another car parked right there in front of him, but you do see the 67. Comes to a slide, comes to a stop, gets it pointed back in the right direction there. Unfortunately, though, on the racing surface and on pit road entry right there, iRacing throws that caution flag and puts us back under the yellow for what could be some late race craziness here this evening, as drivers are going to make what could be their final stops. And now, obviously, for some, taking wave arounds and free passes, trying to get back on the lead lap, trying to get themselves back into the battle here this evening. Some will be able to get them, some may not. Take a look here. Okay, so, yeah, it looks like Mickelson, Haller, Logan Perriman, Gary Rose, and Porter were all in front of Jordan Fisher, so they will all get the wave around here. Looks like Jason Bogart will get one as well, so he'll gain a lap back there as well in this battle. But unfortunately, another caution flag means another restart, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to battle. And for our top 5 out there on the racetrack, all pitting right there around lap 128, lap 129, and lap 130. For Aiden Lucas, Jaden Browder, Chess Hamby, I mean, they were down pit road lap 134, so they will have a few lap fresher tires here for this restart. It'll just be interesting where they kind of get lined up and where they get the battle. I believe for Lucas, he's scored in position number 6. Browder will be in 7th, Hamby in 8th. Then we'll see our lap down cars, and then obviously for our wave around takers here, they'll get lined up back behind them as well. So it's going to be interesting. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a crazy finish to this race with 25 laps left to go. Obviously going back to green flag battling, it'll be 24 laps of racing action left here in this one. And as we get ready to roll back to green flag battle here for this restart, we will jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming. Actually, no, not a Peacemaker Gaming. And Uncle Rodney Crank It Up here this evening. So the Crank It Up presented by Uncle Rodney here. We're going to jump back into it for a few laps here on this restart. Get me a quick drink and a break here, and we'll get ready to bring you guys all the crazy action here for our closing laps of this amazing race here this evening from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as we get ready to knock them back loose here again. See the craziness that can ensue and see who can put themselves into the winner's circle. Cheer on your favorite drivers, though. Crank up that volume and get ready to see some more crazy racing here this evening with the Wheel to Wheel Racing League as the Crank It Up presented by Uncle Rodney here this evening. As here we go, getting ready to go back to battle. beautiful Crank It Up session here, brought to you by Uncle Rodney here this evening as the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League inches closer and closer to the checkered flag here this evening in our Indy 400 here today from the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we inch closer and closer to the checkered flag. Out in front, it's still Jordan Fisher who continues to lead the way as Bill Fisher says, "Bring it home, Jordan," cheering on Mr. Jordan Fisher out there on the racetrack, who's been the class of the field here this evening and late in this race. I mean, that's about a 1 second gap between himself and his teammate, Grant Applegate. As Fish Mom says, shout out to Olivia and Everett. Enjoy the Crank It Up. Hopefully they enjoyed it. Hopefully they enjoyed that amazing Crank It Up right there and got to enjoy the sights and sounds around the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway here with the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League as Jordan Fisher out in front. The Fish Speed Brakes machine has got the top spot. He's been out front for a lot of this race, but will we potentially see maybe that tire difference here, even though it's only 3 or 4 laps extra green flag laps on the 39 ride compared to Aiden Lucas? We saw Aiden be able to race his way up and around Colby Wells. Wells has now fallen back into position number 6 and now kind of in a bit of a hornet's nest here himself as he's got the 2 of Landon Burbage now around him. The 11 of Browder's already gone by. Here's the 31 of Joseph Smith. Wyatt Mickelson's right there in the battle as Mickelson rolls in 8th. A little farther back, you do see Logan Hamilton in 9th and Ryan Haller. Haller's raced his way up inside the top 10. So Ryan Haller, from where his day started to where he is right now, man, looking really solid here in that 10th position, and he's got a bit of a gap. Logan Perriman a little bit back there behind him, a couple lap cars between himself and that 60 ride of Ryan Haller. He does have the 17 right there. Another lap down car of Jason Bogart battling here with him as well. So, I mean, for right now, Perriman's kind of stuck in limbo, just trying to find his way through some of this lap traffic, hoping to try to race his way up to Ryan Haller and maybe try to steal that 10th position away from him. But nonetheless, man, some just good, solid, great racing here to finish off this event. And hopefully it can stay clean and green to the checkered flag, but obviously there's always that possibility, that opportunity of these late race caution flags flying. So we'll have to keep a close eye on the field here and see if there is something that comes out, something that happens late in this race that could put us under NASCAR overtime or another late race restart where Fisher's gonna have to try to be absolutely perfect and try to keep these guys back there at bay as Applegate rolls in position number 2. Now he's fallen farther and farther away from Fisher. The gap is already 2 seconds here between Jordan Fisher and Grant Applegate. And Applegate's starting to see this 34 ride of Aiden Lucas reel him in. Aiden's reeling him in. Jaden Browder's reeling him in. Even that 2 ride of Landon Burbage starting to draw in closer and closer here again to Browder, Lucas, and Applegate here this evening. As Bird Dog says, Jordan is on rails. Go, Jordan, go. Jordan has been on rails all evening long, man. It's going to be very, very tough. It may take a miracle here for anybody to beat him here this evening from the amazing Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sure, Haller says, Haller and Mickelson, bring it home, she says. Bring it home, says Sure, cheering on the Haulers here this afternoon. And Mickelson, as we did see one driver down onto the apron. It's the 11 of Jaden Browder. What in the world just happened to Browder? He had to take the pit exit right here. It just looks like he gets loose. Let's play it back. So down into corner number 1. Nice and smooth, but on corner exit, oh, looks like he gets a big piece of that outside fence. Really big hit right there for him. That was a heartbreaker there for Browder, as unfortunately that just killed that whole right side of the M&M's car. Now it stays clean and green. He's able to keep it rolling, but unfortunately he is going to fall all the way back into at least the 8th position here on the speedway. So a tough break right there for Jaden Browder is looking to have a good solid top 5 run. Now just trying to hang on, trying to keep himself inside inside the top 10 here this evening, as Roadkill says, come on, Lucas, hit that next gear, he says, as Aiden trying to make the move now on this 57 of Applegate. He is there. He's only a car length or two between himself and this 57 ride. So Applegate, I think he's going to do everything he can, not only to keep position, but to try to keep this 34 right back there at bay, and hoping that if he can try to hold up Aiden Lucas enough that, one, it can burn up his tires enough that he can't chase down Jordan Fisher, or if he holds him up enough or long enough that he won't have time to reel in that 39 ride, and just trying to be a bit of a sport here to his teammate and trying to hold off this 34 as long as he possibly can. And for Jordan Fisher, he'll say thank you very much, as he's out to about a 2.5 second gap now between himself and Applegate. He's got a lap traffic car here in front of him, which he should be able to make quick work of to get around the fairly heavy damaged 61 machine right there of Lucian Thompson. And for Fisher, just looking to try to keep pulling farther and farther away. Keep these guys back there behind him. Hope to see it stay clean and green. Does not want to see a late race caution flag come out to where, unfortunately, he's got to hit another perfect restart, or there could be somebody that has an extra set of tires back behind pit wall that they use to their advantage that could potentially, jump up and steal this win away from us. Here we go. Aiden with a big run down at a corner number 4. Gets to the inside. Will side draft here with that 57 of Applegate. They make a little contact right there. Potentially Aiden just showing his displeasure there with the battle that the 57's putting on with them, but Aiden's trying to clear him, trying to stay in front of this 57 ride as they steamroll down into corner number 2 here on the racetrack. Looks like the 34 will slide up and will clear that 57 of Applegate. So move Aiden Lucas into position number 2. So Aiden's now in second, but he's 3 seconds behind Jordan Fisher with only 9 laps left to go, to be 8 this time by the start-finish line. So 8 laps left to go here for Jordan Fisher to be able to try to get this checkered flag, and obviously still working with that 3-second lead. For Aiden, he did draw in a little closer down through corner 3 and 4. Not a ton, but we'll have to wait and see kind of throughout a full lap without any traffic around him, and with the 34 ride, see if he can reel in this 39 and see how much time he can make up. If it's only a 10th or 2, I think you'll run out of time, but if he can make up big chunks, then maybe he can draw into him, but I just don't think he's going to be able to. I think that battle with Applegate for position number 2 probably burnt up a lot of what he had extra here this afternoon, and I think right now he's probably a lot more balanced out with Jordan Fisher than I think he wanted to be, and unfortunately now he's just going to find himself kind of in this little limbo area. He's going to be too far away to try to do anything, to try to hunt down this 34 ride of Aiden Lucas, and unfortunately for Applegate here, he's just going to continue to fall farther and farther back. Now he's going to try to do his best to keep Landon Burbage back there at base. Now here we go. We see Wyatt Mickelson and Joseph Smith battling here for the 5th position. Smith down low, Mickelson on the outside. They'll be door to door as they'll both jump to the inside of that 61. Mickelson up a little higher right there. May have to roll out of the throttle as he does take that outside fence right there. Does get some pretty solid right front contact, but he's going to continue to keep on battling here for that 5th position with Joseph Smith. Smith up inside the top 5, though. Late in this race, looking pretty good himself here is Kobe Wells back in 7th. Then we do see Jaden Browder in position number 8. Ryan Haller's up and into 9th as Logan Perriman now they're in 10th, as we did see Logan Hamilton run into some issues here. The 09 ride also in the chat here says, I'm washed, as there you go. You see him lose the rear end, and then, oh, man, this, big hit there for the 09 ride. Oh, man, tough spot to lose that rear end. Luckily enough, you didn't bring a caution flag out, so that's good news, as the car just kind of shoots down here. Now he's trying to keep it from pit road and just gets sideways there, unfortunately, and then ends up hitting that pit wall entry right there, man, that double fence, and, man, that's a huge hit. Look at that thing. Virtually stop on a dime, go backwards that quickly, man. That was a huge hit there for that 09 machine, and unfortunately, that's gonna hurt here this afternoon. As here we go for Fisher out in front, though. I mean, down across the line. Will be 5 laps left to go. The gap is still about 2.8 seconds, so he's given a little bit back to Aiden Lucas, but not enough for Lucas to be anywhere close to try to make a move, to try to take a shot, to try to steal this win away from Jordan Fisher late here this evening, as Logan Hamilton says, I'm washed. And unfortunately, after that move, after that wreck, you may be, as Small Time says, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, he says. You get him, Small Times. You get him. You tell him how it is. Logan Hamilton, wash. Hopefully that's what's on his the hood of his car for the next race. Just washed. No fish speed, just washed. I'm washed. That's what he needs to have on there. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you, Logan, man. Great race, great run. A long race here, unfortunately, and unfortunately, in our final 10 laps of the race, you run into that kind of an issue and end up with that, damage. And unfortunately, no caution, no way to get back into it, and looks like night's going to end there for Logan Hamilton. Now, luckily enough, I don't know, there's only a few laps left to go. You may hang on to the 16th position. Austin Thompson may be able to reel around you. Same with Lucian Thompson, potentially. Might be able to leapfrog you kind of on the last lap here to potentially steal that 16th spot away from you. So we'll have to wait and see. But you won't fall any further back than the 18th position at the bare minimum here this evening. As Jordan Fisher, though, out in front, continuing to lead the charge here. Fisher, just nice and easy, man. He's opened up that gap again to about 3 seconds here between himself and Aiden Lucas. So it looks like Lucas is really balanced out. Unfortunately, has really nothing left in the tank here to get after Jordan Fisher. And late in this one, man, these guys just don't want to see a caution flag. They want to see it stay clean and green. I know at least for the 39 ride of Jordan Fisher, he definitely does not want to see a caution flag. For drivers like Lucas, Applegate, maybe Landon Burbage, or even some of those guys back there a little deeper that may have a set of scrub tires back there, or maybe an extra set of freshies back behind pit wall. If you look at Kobe Wells or Jaden Browder, Haller, Perriman, they're hoping for a caution flag here late in this race where they can get an opportunity to put those fresh tires on and try to get after it, try to go after those guys and try to work their way, maybe into victory lane here this evening. But for Jordan Fisher, man, he's just trying to get this one into the history books as quickly as possible, wanting to put this fish speed brakes 39 right up and into victory lane and kind of wipe out what has been a rough couple weeks here for that 39 right. Has gotten tied up in a couple tough wrecks, a couple tough hits there, and unfortunately just not the performances and the runs that he has wanted here over the last little while. And tonight, it's kind of put all that into the rearview mirror. That's going to wipe out all the heartache from those races and kind of replace it here with a big win here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, man. Such a historic racetrack with so much meaning here for any driver that comes here, gets a win at Indy, man. It is an exciting one, whether it's real life or here in the simulator, man. It is a fun racetrack. It is an exciting racetrack, and it's definitely one of those historic ones that you always want to get the win at, man. Anytime you're here, you want to be the one celebrating down there in victory lane and kissing the brakes here in Indy. And for Aiden Lucas, unfortunately, he may come up just a little bit shy here in this race, but a valiant effort as we do see the white flag fly. So no late race caution flag will change the outcome here this afternoon, as the final lap here from Indy is Jordan Fisher leads the charge down through corner 1 and down through corner number 2 here at Indy. He'll exit 2 nice and easy. No contact there at the outside fence, able to keep that thing pointed the right direction. With about 3.5 seconds between himself and Aiden Lucas, he'll take it on cruise control down into corner number 3 for the final time here this evening in the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jordan Fisher down through 3 and out of corner number 4. Here at Indy, it's Jordan Fisher who will kiss the brakes as he picks up the checkered flag here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Jordan Fisher, as Fisher gets it done and picks up the dub here in this one, man. What a battle, what a race there for Jordan Fisher, as he not only wins both our stages, but he also wins this race. A maximum points day for the 39 ride as our pole sitter, led the most laps as well. And for the 39, man, dominant performance out there on the racetrack and gets to celebrate a big dub here this evening in Indy. As you do see, Aiden Lucas giving him some congratulations. That 57 of Applegate's right there saying congrats, brother, as they are going to get ready to celebrate a big win here this evening for the 39 ride and for the entire Fish Speed Breaks team. As Andrew Sue says, fear the fish. As Mama Fish says, let's go, Jordan. Congratulations. Bird Dog says, awesome, Jordan. Rocked it. Andrew Sue says, congrats, Jordan. Nice race. Nice race. Fish speed, baby. Fish speed. Fear the fish, says Jack Luke. Fear the fish. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's see all the congratulations in the chat here for Jordan Fisher for picking up the dub here this evening. Let's see some congratulations in the chat there as well. Great race by Aiden Lucas, Applegate, Burbage up there in 4th, Joseph Smith in that 5th position. Look at Mickelson up in 6th, Wells there in 7th, Browder Haller comes on with a top 10 run there in that 9th position, and Logan Perriman to round out our top 10, man. What a race, man. What a race. What a performance. What a show here this evening. I don't even know. What do we see? 13 cautions? 14 cautions? I mean, maybe a little high, but not too bad. I mean, it just seems long because this is a huge racetrack, and those caution laps, they take a long, long time to get completed. But here tonight, man, these guys put on a show, an exciting race, an exciting run for us all evening long. And for Jordan Fisher, he gets to celebrate here in Indy as he burns it down on the front straightaway here this evening as him and the rest of the field, man, I'm sure they're all tuckered out. They are absolutely they're fed in here, man. I'm sure they're ready to go to bed, you know, maybe get a drink, man. Some of these guys are probably going to need some protein shakes or something, man. Some post-race protein shakes for all of them because that had to have been a workout, man. That was a hell of a show, hell of a race, and a crazy, crazy drive here this evening as we'll jump up into the broadcast booth and see if these guys jump in here for some post-race interviews. Now, some drivers may elect to maybe not have post-race interviews. It's been a long night. It's been a long night, so some of them may just want to hop out of there, maybe go and take a shower or something, man, because they've been working their butt off for quite a while here this evening. So we'll give them some time, you know, bathroom break, probably getting a drink, probably relaxing a little bit, maybe taking a breather here, and I'm sure for Jordan Fisher, probably celebrating a big dub here in this one as we'll get ready. We'll see if we can get him up here. Okay, there he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up again for our race winner, Jordan Fisher. We'll get him up here into the booth. Hey, Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, get a copy.
Jordan, man, great run, great race for yourself here tonight, man. Take us back through this one as we'll try to keep it short. Obviously, we know it's been a long race, a tough race, and a long race for you guys because you guys have been working hard out there, man. So we'll make this post-race interview fairly quick for you. Let's go through kind of what happened for you on the day and how you feeling about getting back up here into victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we kind of dominated the first 2 stages, winning both of them, and then at the end of stage 2, I just made a little mishap on my part with speeding in the pitch just barely, so we had to start from the rear and just take our time making our way up to the field, and we were able to get that track position by the end and put ourselves in a situation to get this crown jewel win.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to the crown jewels, I mean, 100% race length. It's Indy. I mean, it's such a historic racetrack. What does it mean to be able to jump out there and put together the show that you did here tonight? Even with all the cautions, all the restarts, trying to keep these guys back there at bay, the tight battles there between you and Aiden Lucas and Applegate and all these drivers here tonight as you're able to find your way up into the victory lane, man. How does that feel, and what does it mean to be able to put on a show like that here at Indy?
It means a lot, to get anytime you can get a crown jewel win in any league, especially here in Wheel to Wheel. It's definitely pretty significant considering the competition out here on the track, and so it was definitely no joke. And to finally, get another crown jewel win first of this year, we got the Southern 500 last year, so adding to the list a little bit here. So it's definitely, like I said, it feels incredible. It's definitely a good rebound from last week, is what we needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Last week, tough one, a pretty awful way to start this race where you have a little bit of flashbacks there at the start of this one, knowing that it was going to be tight racing. Everyone was going to be driving as hard as possible there in those opening laps, as we did see a few really early caution flags here. Were you getting a little nervous on any of those early restarts that maybe, you'd have flashbacks of Texas there pop into your head?
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely have to consider that, obviously with well, how last week went, and now I just kind of, had to maybe adjust my line a little bit to make sure I don't put myself in that kind of bad situation again. So just, I got the long run speed, so I just need to, make sure that we just get through the little chaos off those restarts, and that's we were able to do exactly that, and put on the long run pace over the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're able to do just that. And you park yourself up here into victory lane, man. A big win, a huge day here at the Speedway for yourself and the Fish Speed team, Jordan. Who would you like to thank, man, for such a great run and great performance out there on the racetrack here tonight?
I want to first thank all my family and friends continuing to watch each and every one of my races, and my wonderful, amazing girlfriend Sam for continuing to support me as always. And I want to thank everybody in the Fish Speed Breaks community continuing to work together. We've been coaching a lot of drivers, continuing to get faster, and obviously it shows here in Riddle Wheel when you got a lot of fast drivers out there. And you, Aaron, thank you for doing everything you do in the broadcast. Evan Stewart and all the admins who put on this great league. So thanks everybody.
Absolutely. Well, Jordan, heck of a run, heck of a drive for you here this evening, brother. Congratulations on the dub. And now, what's your choice here? You going to kiss the bricks or are you going to get a glass of milk here this afternoon to celebrate here at Indy?
I think we're gonna kiss some bricks, and then yeah, we're definitely gonna pour a big old glass of milk, and we're definitely gonna celebrate tonight this one. So it's not very often we get to say that, and I'm definitely a lucky fish to be saying it.
Absolutely. Well, you're keeping the traditions alive, and we absolutely love it. Jordan, congratulations on the dub here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, man. We can't wait to see you guys back in action again next Sunday night. See if you can park yourself right back up here in Victory Lane.
Thank you guys. Fear the fish.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Jordan Fisher, as Fisher gets it done and parks himself up and into victory lane here this evening as we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, that 34 of Aiden Lucas. Hey, Aiden, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Aiden, man, a great run, great race for you, man. Take us back through what's going to go through your mind after 160 laps of beating and banging here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Tell you the first thing I'm going to go do is I'm going to go look at Fish's data and see what he was doing because he just had the field covered, man. I couldn't believe that. Oh, I spent that last like 25 laps or so just trying to hang it out, sliding it, trying to do anything I could to get to him. But yeah, just a little too short. But it was a great race. Indianapolis is always a great time.
Yeah, always a lot of fun, a lot of crazy action out there. And early on in this race, obviously, we saw quite a few caution flags, a lot of big restarts there. And on some of those restarts, I mean, we saw some big moves between, a lot of you guys up inside the top 5, top 10 there, including yourself, trying to make moves, trying to get to the inside or the outside of other drivers. We saw Fisher there throwing a few blocks on you as you were trying to steal the race lead away from them or trying to jump up into second and have a chance to hit after Applegate there during that second stage. Take us through some of those restarts. What was kind of going through your mind there as the aggression seemed to pick up quite a bit there every time we got a chance to kind of stack and re-rack you guys out there on the racetrack?
Man, they were playing so many so many teammate games. It was just like, oh man, come on, let's race it out, man. We're all individual cars, but that I guess it pays to have friends here. So, yeah, man, just trying to do anything you can because once it starts to get single filed out, passing becomes a premium, and it's just so hard here. But that's kind of what makes it fun. We're a slower version of the Indy cars.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, it was a hell of a show, an exciting one here tonight there, right down to the end as you're able to make some moves, race your way up around Applegate. We thought, maybe you'd have enough. Maybe you'd have something there to, maybe make it a little exciting, chase down that 39 ride. But unfortunately, Fisher was just waiting there, biding his time for you to get around Applegate. And I think, obviously, the battling there with that 57 kind of maybe burnt up any advantage you may have had over the 39. And unfortunately, just could not draw into him there in these closing laps this afternoon. But you park it up on the podium. You're at a crown jewel race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, man. Such a historic racetrack. How does that feel to be able to jump out there and have the run and the performance that you did here this evening?
Man, it feels pretty good. Honestly, I haven't had the speed here recently. I haven't talked to you, and it's been a good while, man. So, yeah, it's always a good time to come up in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth and get a little conversation with our boy Aaron over here.
Absolutely, brother. You know it. It always means you have a good night when you're able to jump up here and talk to me post race. As you park it here in second, Aiden, who'd you like to thank, man, for a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Well, first off, thank you, Aaron, bringing the show to the people. Doing a great job. Thanks to the Wheel to Wheel admins, Matt, Fish, Evan, Jaden, and thanks to all the drivers bearing with us through 160 laps, 400 miles of Indianapolis. That one was tough.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Well, go get yourself a protein shake or something, or at least a glass of milk or something to get some of that protein into you after that workout session, and we'll see you back out there on the racetrack again next Sunday night.
Yeah, thank you, man. I got a tub of ice cream with my name on it.
All right. I mean, maybe not the protein that's good for you, but at least it's something, brother. Enjoy it and enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, bud.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Aiden Lucas. Aiden with a great run, great drive there for that 34 run to come home in position number 2 here this evening as we get running now to pull in our third place finisher, the 57 of Grant Applegate. Hey, Grant, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, I do.
Grant, man, great run, great race for yourself here tonight, brother. Take us back through it and through this one because a lot of movement out of that 57 truck up and down throughout the field here and making some bold strategy calls throughout the stages. And here in this one, I mean, duking it out with Jordan Fisher and Aiden Lucas late in this race. And it comes down to a couple, restarts here and a couple good green flag sessions out there on the racetrack with green flag pit stops there as well. I mean, really exciting way to finish off this race, but Aiden's able to get around you. You just weren't able to hold him off, but you were able to use him up enough that he wasn't able to chase down your teammate there and Jordan Fisher to battle there for the race lead. But here in this one, man, hell of a show, hell of a performance. You're in a crown jewel after 160 laps here at Indy, man. Take us back through what's going through your mind.
Yeah, just screwed up qualifying, so that's not a great way to start tonight. Just didn't give myself enough time to set my lap. And then got in the race, and I was like, yep, this is how I remember Indy being. You can't pass, especially, like, you can pass one car if it's just you and the other car, but when we're all lined up in a line, it's just, even if you get a run and go to the inside, well, then he just drafts right back past you. So at that point, I realized I needed to pull some kind of strategy out of my ass to get myself up front. And that's what I did all night, was just played the strategy game to keep myself up front. And then when I did get up front, I realized I was really good for about 15 laps. I could compete. And then after that, I guess I was just driving the track wrong or overdriving it, but it just car got so looser than it already was with the high track temp. So yeah, I knew I needed like a 15 lap run at the end. And when I seen we had about, I think it was 27 to go and we were getting ready to go green, I was like, this ain't going to work. And managed to pull a third place out of it. But I mean, obviously by the end of the race, I was struggling bad. So I'll take third place. I probably was a 5th to 7th place car.
Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes that strategy makes up for the lack of speed or the lack of drive there throughout a longer run here at Indy. And you're able to come out of it with a good, solid point stay and a great finish here this evening. Nonetheless, is great. You park it up here on the podium in that third position, brother. Who'd you like to thank for a great run and a strong performance here in this Crown Jewel feature event?
I just thank you to my teammates. At TI Racing, Fisher, Evan, Austin. I just appreciate the help they give me throughout a week and figuring out how the race is going to go. And then obviously just admins and everybody who puts on the show. I always appreciate them putting all this together. I know it's not easy, so thanks to them for all the work and effort they put in.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Grant, great run, great race, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. Take it easy after that 3 hour and 3.5 hour workout session right there that you just experienced. And we'll see you back out there again next Sunday night.
I appreciate it. See you later.
Absolutely. Enjoy the nice rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Grant Applegate. Great run, great race there for that 57 ride. Unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here this evening, man. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Sure Holler says big thanks to Peacemaker. Always fun. Bill Fisher says great to race, Jordan, and I don't think it continued. I think Bill may have fell asleep there. Great to race, Jordan, and Blank has, I'm sure, just good fun racing. Great fun, great performances by all these drivers, man. They put on a hell of a show for us, man. Shout out to each and every one of them who showed up, showed out. I mean, some of them that even, unfortunately ran into problems early on here this evening, man. Heartbreaker to see them, exit this race early on, but when the car gets destroyed and you have 2 hours or 3 hours worth of damage, and you're not going to be able to get that repaired in time to rejoin the race. So unfortunately, some early exits, some drivers came back, laid down some more laps, got some more time in there, made up some ground, made some passes, and was able to come home with, still some pretty decent finishes here. Michael Ponder Jr., I mean, early in this race, looked like he was going to be down and out of it, and looked like potentially was going to finish back in the 28th position, but he stuck with it, came back out. I mean, he was 17, 18 laps down and came out of this one with a 19th place finish. So really gained 9 spots up there on the racetrack from where he may have finished if he called it quits early on this evening. So, I mean, good for sticking with it there for Michael Potter Jr. and gaining himself some extra points here today and at least making up for, a little something there, a little craziness early on and just getting something out of the night. But nonetheless, some great fun, some great racing, and a great show here by each and every one of these drivers. Unfortunately, that is going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys all back here in the next one. But thank you all for watching, and we'll see y'all later, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Here at KK Woodscapes,